At the crossroads of Highway 20 and Highway W sits a quiet little community where you can walk to the post office to pick up your mail or drink a cup of coffee while waiting for the boys to load up your feed at the local mill. When you're in Missouri, you know you're home. Welcome to Alma.
Welcome in everyone to a new Let's Play series here in Alma, Missouri. We had the option of 3 pre-built farms to start with, and we ended up going with the main farm here. So it has cattle and sheep. It also had horses on it one time. We took the horse barn out and placed a location for our hay equipment and a hay loft. So this is what we're going to start with. We do have 4 starting fields, one being alfalfa. So we're going to be taking care of our cattle and sheep with the alfalfa field. Hopefully that'll be enough to get us started. We have a cornfield that is about ready to be chopped for silage. So we will get silage out of that, get it up to our harvester to be able to ferment it into silage. So let's get down and get this started. We'll start things off by doing a quick little spin around our farm here. This is of course our farmhouse. We're starting with this Dodge Ram pickup. It's big enough that we can actually pull everything we need. We have 3 flat bottom grain bins that we'll be using. We have this field up here. We don't have the sunflower field. That is not ours. But we do have this cornfield. We drive up past the cornfield. We got an old junk pile back there that someday we need to clean up, but we have this field of peas. They are ready to be harvested, so we'll be harvesting them this episode. And we also need to get over and I'll show you our alfalfa field. As we drive by here on our left, this is where the cattle barn used to be, where we just put up a lean-to here to be able to store some of our haying equipment, and our little hay barn there. We actually have some pallets of seed and fertilizer. But this is our alfalfa field that we're going to be mowing this season, this episode. And lastly, down here we do have a canola field that is ready to be harvested. We also need to try to get to that. But I think the first thing we need to really do is probably mow our alfalfa. We have a Vermeer mower for that. Get it mowed up and be able to get some hay and some grass off it for the sheep and cows. So we don't have a lot of feed for them right now. So let me grab a tractor and a mower, and then later on I can show you what equipment we do have. Here's our main implement building here. We do have this Volvo grain truck that we're going to be using. But this is what we're going to probably pull the mower with. I think I can get it out. There's room for that truck there? I believe so. So then we have over here, well, we'll just show you around while we're in here. We have this case planter, along with just a field cultivator and a little seeder back here as well. But we're going to do most of our seeding, of course, with the case. So let me get in this Massey Ferguson here and get out there and get the mower hooked up. We did end up switching out most of the equipment that came with the farm. We do have an actual John Deere tractor. Our large tractor is actually John Deere because Higginsville is not too far from here, not too far from Alma. So we got the John Deere because there's a dealership right over there that can come work on it. So this thing unfolded and we'll get out here and start mowing this field up. Here we go. Have a little bit of grass in it too. It's hard to get right to the edge. This crop destruction is on, so if you get in the field too much, you drive over your alfalfa and destroy it. But either way, we'll mow this up real quick, then we'll come back and we'll ted half of the field, well, probably over half. So we're going to need more for the cattle than we do for the sheep. Now, right now we just started with 1 cow and one lamb, so we don't have a whole lot because we didn't have any feed for them. So we had to buy the first bale just to get them started. So I'll finish this field on mowing and then I'll come back with you when we grab the tedder. Well, I ended up getting our hired hand to help us with the mowing. So he's over mowing it right now. He missed a little bit there at the bottom. As you can tell here, I'm mixing both the grass and the alfalfa in here, so I don't know how it's going to bale up. Hopefully it'll mostly be alfalfa. But the way he's doing it, he can actually drive through the alfalfa and not tear it up. Of course, he must think he's done by now because it's stopped. So let me go turn him back on, and then we'll finish this. So I was doing some thinking. I think we'll probably just turn all of this alfalfa into hay and not worry about just keeping alfalfa grass. Hopefully we can feed the sheep that. We'll find out when we take the first bale in, but if not, as you can tell around these fields, there's plenty of grass that we could mow if we had to get some grass bales. But the reason we chose Alma for our new map is because we actually don't live too far from there. So we know the area, and we thought, well, that would be a really fun farm to work on. Plus it resembles a lot of the family farm in northern Missouri. So I thought by doing those things, I mean, this would be a perfect map to be playing on. So that's what we're doing. So let me get this tedded up, and then I'll have to grab the mower again and mow that little stretch he missed on the south part. Of course, he also missed the edge of the field, but that's not too bad. We'll probably actually leave it so we don't mix it with the grass. But I'll finish tedding this up, and then grab the Vermeer twin rake and get out here and start raking it. See you guys in a little bit. Well, I was going to have an AI worker ted this field, and of course, for some reason, they couldn't ted alfalfa. I'm sure Courseplay would have worked, but the regular hired hand way did not. So I had my 6-year-old come in and ted it, and as you can tell, these aren't the prettiest of rows, but hey, it's all tedded. So let me grab a rake and get to raking it. Here we go with the raking. It's not raking the best, I think, because the grass and the alfalfa kind of mixing together, it's leaving some. I've never had so much trouble with this Vermeer equipment before. I'm hoping it'll kind of fix itself in the end. I do have a worker doing this. This is running on Courseplay. I had to adjust. It seems like all the Vermeer equipment is set up wrong with Courseplay. Like this showed it was only 1.5 meters wide, so I had to change it to 8.5. And the mower, as you can tell, it never did work right. It thought it was really narrow also, so I gave up with it and just used the old style of hired hand work. So but while she is doing this, we will run and we will grab the Massey Ferguson tractor and hook up to our baler and see if we can get any of this to bale up right. Because now it looks like it's working good now that we're not in the grass also. So let me head back and get that started. This is our new Massey Ferguson big square baler. Let's see if it'll work right. Like I said, I'm not sure what it's going to do now that I have alfalfa and hay in it. It is picking it up, so that's a good start. Not sure how wide the pickup is either to try to get through this area. It's going to leave some, but that's okay. Let me get on our help window here so we can see what we're doing. There, now we can see that we're making alfalfa. It shows alfalfa in the window, so hopefully that's what it'll stay being. Let me get some of this baled up here, then see how it looks. Well, now that we have 2 hired hands working the field, both doing the raking and the baling, we're going to come up here and grab our only other tractor that we have. This is our big John Deere that we're using. This map, we're going to pick up the bales with it. So get it started up and unhooked from our auger wagon we have. This is our auger wagon we went with, and this is the Gleaner combine that we're going to be using on this series. Hopefully it does good enough. It's an S98. It's actually the first Gleaner I've ever used. So hopefully it does just fine. Let me grab this and get over there and hook up to a bale wagon. Hopefully this tractor won't be too big to do this. It's not going to be the best since the duals are kind of in the way, but it still grabs it. It doesn't look quite right, but got to get these bales picked up so we don't run into it with the rake. It's a problem with going back and forth instead of just going in circles the whole time. Start running into bales. Do it too soon. Oops. That didn't flip as fast as I wanted. Got a few more of these, get them off the headlands at least. Then it won't matter once I just start going up and down. They're still doing the headlands when they're raking the rest. kind of messes things up. Boy, these duals are really hard to work with. This tractor's only meant to pull our big planter and our cultivator. It was not supposed to be used in the hay field. I always thought, well, you can never have too many tractors. You can't. We could use one more right now. Here, let me get these picked up. I have to drive over this. Not like I need it anyhow. Here we go, but I'll pick some more of these up and send these up to the barn. There, I think we got all the ones we needed to get off the field. Not sure how he's going to do following the rake. If he's going to miss much or not. Might have to come and re-rake the ends and bale that up again by myself. So far it looks pretty good. So let's take these to this building here, our hay storage, and see if they unload like they're supposed to. It's actually the first time I've ever taken hay bales to one of these buildings. When they did the update, the Platinum expansion, I thought, well, that is really nice. I like that. Hopefully it works. Well, we're just now finally trying it. And it does not look like it works. Oh, I wonder if it doesn't take alfalfa bales. It only takes hay. Uh-oh. I don't think I'm going to be able to hook back up to it. Nope, there's no way it's going to take it. Nope. Well, that's too bad. Now I just got a pile of hay bales that I don't need there. Alright, well, I'll park this here and we'll go help the guys in the field. While those two are still working in the alfalfa field, I think we're going to start getting things ready to harvest in the canola field. I don't think we'll have enough time to be able to get the pea harvest in today, so we'll have to do that on the next episode, but I do want to get this canola field out of the way. Just need to get the auger set up to be able to store it in our bin. And I'm not even sure if, now that we're having trouble with alfalfa storing in our hay bin, or hay building, I wonder if we can put peas in our grain bin. Find that out a little bit. Let me get the harvester and get it down here. It sure seems to have a lot of power. Got a lot of pickup on it for sure. Let's see, it's hooked up. Should be enough room to get this down in between the fields without running into anything. I believe this is a 40-foot header. That's what I'm going to call it anyhow. If not, it's within 5 feet of 40. So, yeah, plenty of room to get down here. They've got most of this field wrapped up, especially the raking. He's almost done. Or she's almost done. This thing unfolded here. Get to harvest it. Like I said, this is my first time using a gleaner combine. There. I think it's even gleaner head, I believe. Zoom in here. Yeah, at least it's the right color. I'm guessing that is gleaner though. It doesn't say gleaner on it. It looks like the right colors. Let me get a headland done here and then might set up horseplay on this field as well. But we do have our first headland done. Can't remember how much this combine holds. Let's see here. Let's get some dumped in here. Ooh, not close enough. Boy, these duals they're not going to be handy for anything. I might have to get rid of the duals on this thing. I'll just blame it on being a John Deere. Nothing works right on John Deere. Here, let's see how many liters he does hold. Now I did go with one of the smaller auger wagons. Looks like a little over 13,000. Really not too bad. Looks like I can hold 2 loads from the combine in here. We're only at 50%. So we'll let him go around one more time, and then eventually we're going to have to come up here and bale also. So let's get back to checking on the guys in the hayfield. Looks like they almost have it all wrapped up. We'll use the Massey Ferguson to pick up the bales, since the big John Deere did not do too good with that, the duals on it. I don't know if this Massey Ferguson's really big enough to pull our auger wagon or not. So hopefully it will be. We might need it too, since the duals are getting in the way. I need the duals to be able to run the planter and the field cultivator. We need the bigger tractor for that. So we'll let these two finish up and we'll keep an eye on our combine. This should be enough to give us a full load. If I get close enough to it. Hey, good. Perfect. I brought the truck over. It's up there by the... I just can't quite see it from here, but it's up by the bale storage. Well, what's supposed to be the bale storage. That didn't seem to work out right. We don't have too far to go to get to it. And we need to still set up that auger, the grain bin. But yeah, this tractor has plenty of power to be able to pull this around. The problem is it's only 27,000 liters. And then we have duals that get in the way of the combine. We'll run up here and dump it in the truck. At least the auger wagon has a long enough auger to not be in the way of the duals, so we can get close enough to the vehicle. Let's see how much this will hold. I'm not even sure how big this truck is. Will even fill a whole compartment? Let's see. Oh, yep, filled one full one. There we go. Then we'll get back to the field, take the little New Holland tractor over, and get it set up on the auger for the bin. And I did rake a few little spots here on the end to try to clean it up, and looks like the baler's done, so we'll come up and bale those little passes I got. I think I set the rake a little bit too wide. Said it was a little wider than it was. I told it 8.5 meters, which is what the rake is, but apparently I should have went like 8.3 or something closer to that to give a little bit more room. But we'll toddy up that field real quick, and then we'll go get the augers ready. Well, this will be more than enough to fill up our truck. I got the auger all set up for the grain bin. I'm using a new drive-over auger for hopefully be able to drive the semi over it to unload into the auger that goes up to the grain bin. I haven't tried it before. I've seen others use it, so hopefully I got it lined up right that it'll work for us. I'll get this up to the truck, get it dropped off, and then we'll take the truck to the grain bin. Oh, now that's full. Let's go get this thing offloaded. Need to put another driveway that goes through. So like I said, this used to be the horse barn, and so it had some driveways up to it. So take it out. Hopefully put another driveway in that'll work better for us. We also need to get one from the cow barn over to around the hay building. Hay equipment building. But this is our setup over here. This is the new drive over that I put in. Hopefully I can make it work right. Let's see here. There, hey, it works. As long as it pours out where it's supposed to, that goes to there. And up, there's not a tree in the way. Hey, and it's going in the bin. Hey, we got everything to work right. And this, I don't think, is canola. I thought that was a canola field for some reason. That looks like it's a wheat field. That would explain why we're getting, chaff off of it. Getting hay off of it. Not chaff. Hay. This is even better yet. 'Cause, we needed this. Let's see. Let's see if I can find the trigger for this. There we go. Had to turn on the help window. Couldn't figure out how to get it to tip to the next one. This is good. Get some wheat in the field, or in the bin. Yeah, everything's working like it's supposed to. Well, we'll finish harvesting that wheat field, not the canola field like I said. And then we should be able to call it a day. Alright. Well, this is the it of this field. Get all of our wheat offloaded. I have got to get a different tractor. It's a hard deal with these duals. Maybe I can get a bigger auger wagon. Maybe that helps some. Here, get this dumped in the truck, and then we could take it to the bin and be finished. Here we go with the last 28,000 liters of wheat. Now, I don't think, that field was already planted when we moved into Alma, Missouri. I can't remember. I don't think it was fully fertilized. It had some weeds in it, which all of our fields do. I do like this little drive over ramp. It makes it a lot easier than trying to line that thing up with it. I never could line that up right. I would always run into something. Yeah, we'll finish this off. See how many total liters we have in the bin. Like I said, the peas, we might actually just go ahead and sell the peas in the next episode, not even worry about trying to put them in a bin if you even can. Oh. Last of this in. I do like this auger setup. Normally we always use the self-loading grain bins. This one, Matt came with it, so we thought we'd try it. Kind of like it. 69,000 liters a week. All right, perfect. Welcome in to another day here in Alma, Missouri. Now that we've got our wheat field harvested and all put away, we have a worker down in that field right now baling up the straw. We've got our alfalfa field finished up. All of the bales are in the building. And now we can get to work in our field of peas. We've got the harvester back there, and then we need to get a forage harvester so we can chop our corn so we can make some silage for the cattle. So won't you join us? All right, now we're starting in our pea field here. Got the baler going across in the old wheat field. We should be able to get all that baled up quickly. And then I got a worker here going in the gleaner. And we're going to run to town real quick because the auger wagons don't work on this map yet. So we're going to have to get one of the old tipper wagons. So we'll grab that in town. We'll take the Dodge in to get it. And then we'll come back, and I'm sure this will be definitely full by the time we get back. So let me run to town and get a new wagon. Here we are in the good old town of Alma. We're kind of a small town, but it definitely has that hometown America feel. With the American flags hanging on all the poles, cars pulling out in front of you. You know, typical American town. But right up here is the dealership. We're going to stop and see what kind of tipper wagons we can get. Hopefully they have something that's, you know, it doesn't need to be too big. We're just going to use a little auger to load our semi with anyhow. So let me run in and see what they got to choose from. I think we're just going to go with this trusted old Rudolph with the extension on it, so we can do 24,000 liters. But it's $36,000. We're going to buy it. I got to save some money because we're going to have to lease a forage harvester to be able to chop that silage. So I really kind of need to think of that. Maybe I should try to find a wagon that'll do both. Let me see what else they have to choose from. Well, I've changed my mind. I'm going to go with this Krone so I can do this with the silage also. Because that'll give us bigger capacity to run with the forage harvester. It does 52,000 liters. So I'm going to go ahead and buy this. Instead of leasing it, we're just going to go buy it. I don't really need a cover over it. Hopefully our Dodge can pull it. So let me grab the pickup and get hooked up and run her back to the farm. I'm sure this is a pretty good size load for this pickup. It's pulling it. Front end's not sliding all over the place, so I think it'll be okay. But I'll get back to the farm and get this thing hooked up to the Massey Ferguson. I did check when I got this Krone trailer to make sure it would hold peas, and it does. I'm hoping this little auger here will be big enough to be able to unload from this into the semi-trailer. So I don't want to put the peas in the bin. We're just going to run those straight to market. Get some money back in our accounts right away because we're down to $77,000 now after buying this trailer. The combine's been waiting for us quite a while. So I'll try to get down and get him unloaded. Still need to get out of here one of these days and try to get this old junk pile cleaned out. I think you can delete it. Hope so. Find out. So we're going to run over just a little bit of crops doing this. There we go. Hopefully it doesn't take off on us. I don't have duals. Hopefully I'm close enough now. Could have got a lot closer. Which clearly I am not close enough. I'm driving as if I had the duals on. Here we go. There. Perfect. Get this unloaded and should be able to hold a couple loads. Maybe maybe even 4 loads. As much bigger as this trailer is over the auger wagon. As soon as he's empty, I'll pull out of his way and let him get back to work. Catch you when we're full. This tractor is definitely feeling the workout, pulling this trailer around. So I'm not going to fill it clear full. I think I'm just going to put 3 dumps into the wagon, and then we're going to take it and start offloading into the semi. Once he's done, that's where we're going to head up to, and we're going to hope that little auger will do it. I want to see why not. It should be able to. It can offload into the semi from the grain bin. It should be able to offload from a wagon. Let's go find out. All right, I got the auger all lined up, I believe to be correct. So now, the moment of truth, and see if it'll go from one to the other. I don't believe I've ever used this little auger before. I have used the big yellow one, just a fill grain bin. Let's see. It doesn't look like it's going to take it this way, so I'm going to get rid of the drive over auger and see if I can just dump it directly into it. Well, that explains that. Peas is not accepted here. So there's just a lot of issues on this map with peas right now. I'm hoping the update will fix these little issues. So I think I'm going to get the John Deere tractor and just hook up to this wagon. We're going to fill it the rest of the way full and have it run it straight to market. So let me go swap this out with the other tractor and go get it topped off. And I thought harvesting peas would be something different and fun. I was wrong. So I am very glad now that we went with a bigger wagon. This way we can haul more. Probably holds just about as much as our semi holds. But only the problem is this tractor can only do 32 miles per hour, so it's going to take a lot longer to get to town. But I'll go finish filling this up and then head to town. I noticed there's actually only 2 places that'll even take these peas. We can take it to the train and it can haul it off to Sedalia, Missouri, or we can just take it to the elevator in town. Since the elevator is actually higher priced, paying better than Sedalia, I think we're going to go ahead and just take it to town. So I think I'm just going to go down here. There's a little side road, gravel road that we're going to take, and we'll see when we get to town. Well, while that was going to town to take that load in, the combine was full, so I thought I'd just spin the semi over here real quick and offload it. Well, it turns out it's actually the semi trailer that does not take peas. So we could have probably been okay just putting it in the bin and offloading it some other way. Right now, we're just going to have to use the crone for everything. Let me finish taking the one load to town and then get it back here as soon as possible. So how many of you out there were already knew that, you can't put peas in a hopper bottom trailer? I had no idea. But I'm sure there's several of you out there that you already knew that. You knew that was my problem. Not that it was the auger or the grain bin or anything else. It was the trailer. Here we are back at town. If I can figure out exactly where to take it. Looks like it kind of goes to the train anyhow. This isn't supposed to be the train depot to go to Sedalia with. Alright, hopefully the duals will fit up in there. Duals have been in my way several times already. It'll make it. Let's see what a load of peas are worth. Phew, I was afraid I wasn't going to take it. There we go. Maybe get us back up to the 100,000 mark. Oh yeah, more than 100,000. Get us back in the green so we can be able to lease the forage harvester. Well, back to the field we go. I think I'm going to work on a shortcut here by taking the railroad tracks. I waited for the train to go through to make sure I wasn't going to get hit by the train, but this will take me right to town, so it should work. Should be safe, right? I'm sure there won't be anything crazy happen. So since the train just went through, I should be fine. I should be able to make it all the way. That's my plan. Taking the gravel road all the way to town, around the farm, was taking a long time. And this is only our second load. That's how long it's taken to get a load. But he's probably over half done with the field. Done 3 headlands now. Now he's starting to go up and down. So boy, that's a big field there on our left. Woo! Uh-oh, don't flip over. I'm not sure what we hit, but we hit something. I'm not sure if the dual was just far enough over to catch that tree, but I mean, I can't dilly-dally too long on the tracks or there will be a train coming through again. We're doing really good now. All of a sudden we're getting hung up. Let's see if I can raise that. See if I get the camera view in there. There. Raise it up as high as it'll go. Alright, let's try to get going again. Instead of looking around at the fields, maybe I better pay attention to what I'm doing. Alright, well, I'll get this into town and get it sold off. Alright, my destination is in sight. I don't see any train coming. Oh, there it is. It got something again. I don't know what it is that it's catching. Now we can just drive on this road over here. Well, no, we can't drive on that road because that takes us to the wrong side of the tracks. Drive on this side. Get up there and get it sold. This is the Sedalia point. If we dump it in the grain bin here on our left, it'll load into the train and go to Sedalia. It must be right in there. Must be that delivery point. I want to sell it and make the money now without having to rent the train. So this is what we do. It should be about 45,000 if I can keep these duals off the wall. Yes, another 45. Perfect. Now let's turn around. Looks like the arms are going down, maybe. Might be yeah, it must be a train coming. As soon as the train goes, then we'll follow it. Don't want to be on the track when he's on it. Waiting and waiting. At least it's a short train. Take too long. Get back, and maybe it won't get hung up on the tracks now that we're empty. But I'll head back to the combine and get it unloaded, and once we get it all empty, we will call it a day, and then tomorrow we'll get up and run to town and get a forage harvester. Well, here we are. We almost have this field finished up. Got a few loads to the market. And then, of course, I did. Last time I was at MFA delivering that load, I looked at the price chart and noticed that this is the worst time to sell these peas, and we're getting 800 and some per 1,000 liters when it actually goes over 2,000 in other months. So we should have just stored it in town instead of selling it. We sold it, and we're going to sell this last load just to get rid of it. And I kind of doubt we do peas again. Now I got to start getting things set up to be able to chop that cornfield. I did pick up the bales off the old wheat field, so all the straw's been picked up now. So it's cleaned up, ready to go. I looked at the monthly chart here for Alma, Missouri, and it turns out you can actually get double crops off of a couple different crops. I believe we planted wheat next month or the month after. I can't remember which, but one of those 2 months we can actually harvest those next year and plant soybeans. And then, of course, with the soybeans, we can go ahead and get double crops off of it. So that is my goal. That'll be on the next episode when we actually go through and till up this ground and get it ready for planting again. But now that we're finished, let me get this combine all washed off and the head put away, because we don't need this combine for a few months when we combine some of our corn, but we don't chop the silage. But I'll get this cleaned up and put away. Then we'll take that last load of peas to town. Here we go with the last of our pea harvest. Well, let's see what we get for a grand total of all the peas we harvested this year. Full screen. Let's see, we're at 153 plus. All right, another 34. So we got $170,956 on this pea harvest. That's pretty good. That'll more than enough pay for our lease and the equipment we already did buy for the silage that we're going to be making. Here we are with the rest of the elevator here on our left. Pretty nice facility. Grain mill. But let me get this back to the farm and We'll go to bed for the night, get up tomorrow, and we'll start our silage. Well, here it is, September already. Headed into town to be able to look at a forage harvester that we're really needing to do. We only have $243,000, and I'm thinking about actually taking a loan out with the bank to be able to buy it. Because with having cattle on this farm, we're probably going to go through a lot of silage over the years. So it might be a good investment just to go ahead and buy it now. So once we get to town, we'll see kind of what the bank loan will look like and also how much we're going to have to borrow. After seeing the interest rates on loans nowadays, I think we're just going to actually lease to own this one. So it'll save us money. We won't have to actually go ahead and get the loan. So we're just going to lease it. It looks like $23,000 to start. We get that, and when we get a head to go with it here, let me try to get a New Holland also. And we'll go with the middle size. I think that's probably the middle. Oh, I guess there's another one bigger here. It's a 7.5 meter. Yeah, we'll go ahead and lease that one. All right, now we got our setup. We'll get this loaded up and head home and get it hooked up to the wagon and start chopping. In the Grandpa's Farm series that we're doing, it's based in the 1980s, so all the equipment's a little older. It's kind of nice to play here in Alma with newer stuff. They're a lot bigger now than they were back in the 80s. I mean, they had some bigger equipment, like Big Bud and things like that, but now everything has got smaller in size but more horsepower. So this is going to be plenty of width in this. Let me unfold it here real quick and just see how wide it does look. Because I'm used to growing up with only about a 3-row self-propelled forage harvester, and that's going to be a lot bigger. So let me get this to the house. We'll probably use the John Deere tractor just to run beside this, so we don't have to stop and unhook every time and still grab the tractor. We'll see you back there. All right, he should be ready to go. Hopefully once we pull up next to him, he'll start chopping. Let's see, there he goes. Yeah, perfect. And we're off. Our first silage field. No, I never put any silage additive in it. I probably should have done that. That's all right. But we got this set up to do 3 headlands around it. So we'll get the 3 headlands set up, and we'll show you where we got to put the silage once it's all chopped. Instead of doing a silage clamp, we're just doing an old A.O. Smith harvester. So let me get some of this chopped up. Well, here we are. We haven't even got around the field one time, and we're already full with 52,000 liters. So I'm going to run this up and show you the A.O. Smith harvester system. All right, there it is on the right. The one on the left actually came with the cow barn, but it's just more of a decoration. So we put this one here in, and this is what we're going to use to ferment the chaff. All right, now that's going in, and we can get the fermenter turned on. And I'm not sure in real life how long these things would actually take to ferment, but I'm sure in game they're really quick. While it's dumping out, might as well turn it on. There we go, and shaft silage. Perfect, there we go. It's already started. Looks like it's 1 in to 1 out, so we don't lose anything with it. But I'll go get some more loads brought in, and I'll probably get the Massey Ferguson out in the wheat field to disc it up to get it ready to plant wheat also in it. We're going to do wheat again so we can get soybeans in it late spring. Get some more of this started. I just checked the planting schedule again, and it's not wheat that we can plant. It has to be barley. Barley is what's going to give us a second cutting of the year when we come in and do soybeans for the second part. I also checked, and this tractor is 260 horsepower, and this field cultivator takes 250, so we'll do it. Let me get a course place set up and have this guy do this field as we continue chopping the corn. Well, with this load of chaff going in, it's going to get us over 250,000. So I'm going to go back. We're going to get one more load of chaff, and I think 300,000 is going to be more than enough to be able to get us through next harvest season. Welcome in, everyone, to a new episode here on Alma, Missouri. We got all the corn that we needed to chop for silage done in the last episode. So in this one, we're going to go ahead and harvest the rest of the corn when it's ready next month. But for right now, we're getting the rest of this field disked up, and then we're going to plant it in barley so we can do a double crop next year. We also need to get our alfalfa field fertilized. So let's get down and get started. We really didn't end up chopping very much of our corn. We had plenty in the silo over there fermenting right now in the A.O. Smith harvester. So we really don't need any more. So we're going to have a lot of corn to harvest out of this tomorrow when it's ready. Here's the tractor and fertilizer cart we're going to use. I did end up putting a new fertilizer tank in so we can store some fertilizer in it. Well, let me run into our building here real quick and grab our seeder. It'd be nice if we could use our big planter for this, but it won't seed barley, so we got to use this little one here. Definitely have enough power with this tractor. Let me run over here and grab some seed to put in it. There we go, got her opened up. I think, yeah, this one does fertilize too, so that'll be nice. We'll be able to fertilize and seed in one. Well, I need to try to remember to go over and grab some of that too before I take off. But let me get some seed brought out and we'll get it started. There, I ended up getting more out than I needed. There we go, we got some more for later. Alright, let's get this put away, and we'll go over here. Have to move the other tractor out of our way to get the fertilizer, but let me do that and then we can start seeding. There we go. I think we're probably going to do 3 headlands around it. Then we should be able to get turned around good. I'll have a worker do that so we can go fertilize the alfalfa. The other guy's almost done. Looks like probably just that one pass. Yeah, he'll have to go back too. Then he'll be finished. Then we'll have the Massey Ferguson available to use. But let me get this started with a hired hand, then we can go on to fertilize the other field. One thing I was a little worried about is this alfalfa is starting to grow again. I don't know if it'll be an issue where driving on it's going to kill it or not. Let's see. I'm gonna leave tracks. Oh, kind of looks like I am leaving tracks. Yeah, I am leaving tracks in here, so hopefully that doesn't do much damage. Oh well, it's got to be fertilized. That's what we'll do. But here in Alma, I really like this map. It's got a lot of detail, kind of fun to play on. I did have one comment asking, he wished there was more timber ground in it. And he's right. There's really not a whole lot. There's some trees scattered throughout different lands, but there's no big timber area, which that part of Missouri doesn't have a whole lot. It's not too far from the Missouri River, but so there's a lot of bottom grounds for crops. But when it comes to trees, there's not a whole lot there. It's kind of few and far between, but there are some on this map that you can definitely harvest some trees in here. Looks like the John Deere's doing fine over there. Let me get this finished here, and then we will go, and as soon as he is done, we'll be able to sleep, and then hopefully tomorrow our cornfield will be ready so we can finish harvesting it. Since we haven't done it all, we got enough silage. I believe it's just shy of 300,000 liters of silage. So as soon as that is done fermenting, we have straw and we have the alfalfa bales. We should be able to get more cattle. But let me finish this, and then we'll skip it till tomorrow. Well, here we are in October, and of course it wants to rain this morning. The day we need to get out here and start combining corn that's finally finished. It's dried up, ready to be harvested. So I could go get the combine fired up, get it out here, and get started. Or I could fertilize the barley field that we planted yesterday, but I think I will get the combine started up. So let me go back and grab that. Got to get in here later and till all these weeds up. Last harvest. Need some lime also when we're all done, but let me grab the combine, get the gleaner hooked up to the corn head, and then we'll be ready for when the rain stops. I am kind of glad that we went with the gleaner combine here on this farm. Something I hadn't used before, and it's kind of nice, but I don't know if I mentioned it or not. This bean head here, we used it to harvest the crops, and the thing is, all the paint, when I washed it, came off. So now it's just a shiny, almost chrome look. I don't know if it's some mod issue that made that happen that way, because I've never seen anything that has the paint come off. Like, you can barely read the label on it anymore. But that's all right. Let me wait until it stops raining, and then we'll harvest that corn. Well, we have lost about half of our day with the rain, but it did give us some time to get the auger set up, get the auger wagon over to the field. There's some benefits from the rain. I'll finish setting this up, then we'll hop in that combine and get started in the corn. All right, here we go. Can't really set courseplay up because, you know, I shot part of this field. We're going to do this all old school way. We're going to do it all ourselves. No hired hands, at least no expense going out the door with it. So that's good. There is right now a great demand at Sedalia taking the train. The only problem is it's only $1,000 for the corn, and the corn market does get up to $1,500 per 1,000 liters. So I think we're going to hold off and wait for the market to go higher. That's why we got that bin set up. We're going to use the big bin of the 3. Make sure we have enough capacity in it. We can get some work done here and then start hauling this over to our bin. I said I wasn't going to hire a worker, but then all of a sudden I thought, you know what? With this corn, it's going to fill up so quick. I need to have somebody else running the combine so I can come by and load it out. Of course, I just got it started, so it's not going to be a good path the first time. I have to catch it on the other side. So he's just going to go straight back and forth, so we'll catch him right up here. Here he comes. Not sure how many thousands of liters we're going to get out of here. Probably enough to keep up with him. Fill the bin. I have to wait for him to come back. This cornfield's actually going faster than I thought it would. It's flying right through it. I just got the John Deere out in our last field that we harvested. He's out cultivating it right now. It was needing done. Also need to get some lime on it. Oh, you were supposed to stop. Let me stop. There, now we can go ahead and dump it. Sometimes you just got to do things yourself. You can always get the workers to read your mind. That's why I do like using Courseplay better. At least with Courseplay, you know, you can have them stop when they're unloading. There we go. Get him started back in the field, and we'll go dump that in the semi-trailer. As many of you know, we finally hit our 500 subscriber mark, so we're partway monetized. So we want to give a big thank you to our first channel member, L Family Gaming Dad. Welcome to the crew. Now, if you are interested in joining the crew, be sure to click that join button at the bottom of your screen, and you can be part of the crew as well. So again, thank you, L Family Gaming Dad, for being our first member here on the channel. Seeing offloaded. One thing with these auger wagons, now you push the one button and it makes the sound. See, it makes a sound there with the auger going in and out, but it actually doesn't bring the auger out. You have to use your joystick for that. That is one thing I don't really like about these, but you know, I wanted something different. Another problem with them is the graphics on them aren't the clearest. Let's see if I can even get the graphic. There we go. I have no idea why it's not dumping, but as you can tell, see, that's kind of a little fuzzy. There we go. That thing I was telling you about, how you had to push a couple keys to make the pipe in and out, but it actually doesn't go out. Well, it thought it was in. So yeah, I think maybe in the future we're going to have to get rid of this auger wagon and get a more of a base game one that works a little better. I'm sure there's some good ones on the mod hub. This one's just really got little issues that bother me. Alright, we got it offloaded anyhow, so we'll go back and keep an eye on the combine. I think we're going to have all this corn out of here by the time the John Deere and the cultivator get around that field one time. It is a big field though. I like how it wraps around our cornfield. So we got some over here, then it kind of has a little peninsula that goes clear up the other side. Got this end of the field just about done. Thought it'd be easier just doing it myself than having the worker get lost down here. We still have the other side of the field still to do. There we go. Get back up here and get this part started back up. Let him take back over. I haven't decided if I'm going to start swathing here in Alma or not. We're going to do some like wheat, different fields that we can swath. Get more product out of it doing that. I think it's a 30% bonus. That's really good. That's a lot of extra crops for no extra work really. You pretty well just mow it and you come back with a header pickup and pick it right up. So I'll get the rest of this field combine. Looks like I need to get my auger wagon down here real quick. Get it off. Hey, we got our first 40,000 liters of corn. I can run it over to the bin. Not a whole lot left. He's got a little bit in this corner, and he's just a few rounds, maybe at the bottom, and it's not very long rows, so he won't be much longer. Run this thing over and dump in our bin. So the seed we used on that one field, I mean, we didn't even use the 2 pallets. He still had quite a bit of seed left. I actually screwed up and had it set up. You know, a worker was doing the field, and I had it for the worker to buy as he went.
What were you thinking?
So that messed everything up, and that's why we actually spent quite a little bit of money seeding that field. It would have been a lot cheaper if we would have just used the seeds in the planter. But that was my bad. I had it set up wrong for him. He was buying everything. He was even buying the fuel as he went. All right, now if I can just remember what button does what. There. See if everything's lined up like it's supposed to. Well, that's a little off, but I suppose I can live with it. And it's going in the bin, so that's all good. Looks like the combine must be done in the far corner of the field. It says he's finished. Switch this over to the other compartment. And finish dropping this off. Then we'll get back and move him up to the other end of the field. So I was just looking at the used market to see if there's any, bigger plows or cultivators that we could buy. And I noticed I just have one item in the used vehicle sale. Some guys have like 20 items in there and I'm having one. What am I doing wrong? How do I get more? If you could leave in the comments a way to get more in the used market, that would be wonderful. Save me some money. Since we're trying to not cheat any money in, we're at about $180,000, and you can't buy a whole lot of agriculture with $180,000, especially when we want to eventually expand into some new fields and buy some more cattle. So any ideas and would definitely help me. So then with this combine, I'll go get it washed off, and hopefully the paint doesn't come off the head like it did on the bean head. I'll go wash it up, and we'll get the rest of the corn dumped in our truck, and put the rest in our bin. My daughter just came in. She heard me saying that about the used vehicles, how to get more. She goes, I know how to do it. What you do, you buy the vehicles, then you sell them, and now they're in the used market. Like, yeah, that's not exactly what I meant when I said I wanted to do that. Let me get this thing all washed up nice. It doesn't look like the paint's coming off the head. That's good. I mean, that bean head, that looks horrible. Now it's all chrome looking. I'll finish this and get it put away, and then grab the rest of our corn and get it put in the bin. Here we go. We got the combine all put away for the year. Shouldn't need it anymore. Leave it in here and still leave us plenty of room to put the auger wagon and probably the big John Deere tractor as well. Let me go back to the field. I did notice that there's a lot better price for the dry corn. So we'll probably end up drying the corn that we have to be able to, because I mean, it was close to double the price. I mean, it was really good money for corn. I don't know if you're going to lose any corn drying it, but that's something I'll have to research before I do it. For as of right now, I do plan on drying it. There we go. I think that fits. Should be room for a tractor in front of it. There we go. Get back and get the truck get the rest of it put in the bin. Not sure what we're going to have on a grand total. I never even looked to see how. The first one was 40,000. This one just a little over 20,000. Not a whole lot of corn, but I mean, good amount if we can get it dried and not lose too much in the process. I really hate to lose corn out of it by drying it, but I do understand, you know, it's gonna be drier, it's gonna be less volume. So there we go. Now we're done with the truck until we start actually hauling, you know, grain to town. Get this put away, and then I got the Massey Ferguson hooked up to the fertilizer cart up there. I'm gonna run it out and fertilize our barley field, so we'll be all finished up, and we'll be about done for the day. Well, here we go, getting the last field fertilized that we had planted this year. So hopefully we'll have a good barley harvest come spring. Welcome into Alma, Missouri on our newest episode here. And on this episode, we have just finished up all of our harvesting. So now we need to start focusing on our livestock. There's actually a sale coming up for a bunch of Holstein calves that some dairy farmers have sold off. I think we're going to go up and purchase, and we're going to raise Holstein calves on the farm here. So let's get down and let's get started. Well, one of the first things we need to do is actually get a cattle trailer to be able to haul these calves in. So we're going to run up to the market right now to see what they have. See if they have anything we can pull with our dually here. I don't really want to get a big enough trailer for the semi that needs to pull, so we'll try to find a smaller one for this. And then we'll run over to the market and actually buy the calves. They should be ready for auction today, and this will be a perfect day to get them in before it gets too cold out. Here it is November already. I'd hate to have the snow start falling when we're trying to haul calves back and forth, but I'll run to town and we'll get that trailer bought. Another thing I'd like to buy is this grain dryer here on the right, so we can dry our corn and then get a lot more money out of the corn. It went in the bin just a little wet, so if we could buy this place, get some propane in it, bring our corn up here, dry it, and then once it's dried, then we can sell it right away and make a little extra money, because we do have all that corn from the harvest yesterday. So let me park here and see what we got available to buy. There is this Sooner trailer. I think that'll do pretty good. I'm not sure how many it'll hold, but hopefully it'll be enough that we can only have to make a few trips, because now we have enough silage and all fermented so we can actually start making total mixed ration for them. So I'll go ahead and purchase that one. $26,000. Get hooked up to it, and then go over to the livestock market. Alright, let's get it back here, load it up to the chute. Get some calves loaded in it. Alright, let's go. It's going to be the male, because that is what the dairy farmers do get rid of, because they only want the females. Looks like we'll hold 20 at a time. Alright. I mean, they won't bring us any milk or make a whole lot of profit, but you know, all we got to do is feed them, and they will do the rest. And we could actually eventually take them to a meat market and, you know, have them butchered, make some money that way also. Let me run these back to the farm and get them loaded in our barn. Well, if you're enjoying this series, please be sure to slap that like button. It really helps push the channel out to more people, and we'd also love to have you subscribe if you haven't already. Here we are back at the farm. We just have that one cow in there now. You know, we got a cow to begin with to test everything, make sure it was going to work good. And well, I didn't really want to sell her off, so just add to her pen. So it's possible, you know, with these coming in, we will be able to produce a little milk, but these shouldn't be producing any, unless the laws of science have changed in the last year or two. These calves can't produce any milk. But here, let me get them loaded up in the barn. Turns out we unload them on the other side. That's alright. Here we'll drive to the barn. Of course, the trailer caught on things all the way through it, but we got it. I do like this pickup. You know, everything's adjustable, the height, and I mean, maybe part of it is the trailer also, but I can't get the back door of the trailer to open. That's the one thing I kind of wish was different. Here we go. Let's offload them. All right, now they're all in the barn with the one female heifer. Not sure how old she is now. 15 months. Okay. All Alright, we'll get some total mixed ration mixed up, and then we can go ahead and go back to town and get another load. Alright, let's see if I can get this silage to stop at the right percent. 40% is what we're needing. Alright, then we'll go put a hay bale in it, which will be alfalfa, and then try to finish it off with some straw. Grab the new Holland here and go over and get a couple more bales. I'm always worried when I start with a new forage wagon to try to get the mixtures right. Every bale size is different too. Like, I kind of think this bale might be too big. Might not want to put it all in there. Let's see here. Try to tip it without dumping it all the way. Numbers to line up right. This mixer wagon's a little different too. It actually takes more silage than the other. I should be able to drop that in, no problem. Go ahead. I get the tractor to go high enough. Come over here and get our straw bale. Let's see how close we can get the numbers. At least we're all in the green now. I can just keep going until it's full. So we know one alfalfa bale, 40%. Ooh, that actually got pretty close to being over the limit. But yeah, 40% of silage, and then whatever's left of straw. Run this over and feed those calves. Go. Looks like they do go on both sides of the barn. Looks like the heifer's over there too. Just gonna rest. She probably doesn't like all the new babies in here, but she'll get used to it. I'll finish this and then we'll go back to town, grab another load of calves, and fill this barn partway up. We won't fill it all the way. I believe it holds 200. Let me check. Actually, it looks like it holds 350. So we might get about a couple more loads of calves in here, and that'll be good enough for calves. We don't want to run out of feed for them since it is winter, and I got to get cleared to spring again before I'm going to ever be able to harvest that alfalfa field. So I got to make sure I have enough bales. Park this right up here, grab the pickup again, and head to town. Well, we got our third load of calves on, and I'm just wondering if the neighbor's ever going to get rid of those old bales. Not sure if they're any good or not. Something to think about. If we do run low on hay, maybe he'll sell his, if it's any good. I'm not sure. We'd have to sample it first. I'll run these to the barn and finish filling it. This will give us 60 calves and make another batch or two of total mixed ration, and we should be good for the month. Alright, there we go. Another 20 head in the barn. Perfect. That closed off. Get the pickup put away. Grab our tractor again. I see the cattle have an option here for base food right here. I'm not sure what base food is in this on this map. I don't know if they take corn or not, but I mean total mixed ration is given 100%, and I'm seeing my health is still 0. So I'm not sure if we haven't had this total mixed ration in long enough to change that from a 0 to something better than nothing, so really not sure. Whoop. Shut the tractor off instead of turning the mixer on. Let me grab another couple bales and get these back in the barn. Alright, this should be enough to fill it the rest of the way. There we go. Be done with this tractor for a while. Parking under this canopy in case it snows tonight. You never know in Missouri when it's going to snow. I know it says that on the map that there's going to be a lot of snow here in Alma, but in real life, Alma really doesn't get a whole lot of snow. I mean, there's an occasional year here and there that it does snow quite a bit in that part of Missouri, but normally it's pretty mild when it comes to snowfall. We do have some cold winters, but most parts of the world do. And warm summers, hot summers sometimes. Yeah, this should do it. This should get them through. Probably get them through most of the winter. Oh, I did it again. I keep shutting the tractor off instead of the mixer off. But, oh, those Their poor legs, they're like stuck in the cement. Cow's head is in it, in the ground. All right, that's normal. Nothing to see here. I'll go put this away, and then we will go to December. Well, here we are in December. The leaves are mostly off the trees now. And our cattle, oh, looks like they are at 100% productivity now. So that is good. That has gone up. So it must just need a little bit of time. We are going through the total mixed ration fairly quick, actually. They've stopped eating the hay, but total mixed ration is still going through, and they're actually out of straw, so I need to get some straw bedding in there so we can keep that going, and then we can get to town to be able to buy that grain dryer so we can take our corn in. So let me get them some straw bedding. One thing I've always wanted is a mod that when you mow the grass just kind of disappears instead of just being cut. So then you need to rake it up to get rid of it. I just wish there was a way to mow it, and then it just goes away. Kind of like that bale just did. There we go. Should take that one also. There it goes. Perfect. Alright, now we get to town and buy that grain dryer. The reason I want the grain dryer is corn is running around about $1,200 per 1,000 liters, when dried corn is coming in at double that price. So I think we can make a lot more money if we would just invest a little bit of money in that grain dryer, because we're going to do a lot of corn here since this is Missouri. So we'll be doing corn next year and probably our big field this time. So as long as we already have the corn dryer bought, we'll be able to use it next year as well. Of course, we'll have to buy some propane for it, but I don't think that'll cost us too much for what we'll use it for. And when we're not drying corn, it's not going to cost us anything for the propane. But let me run to town and buy that, then we'll come back here and get our grain truck and start hauling it to town. Well, my wife probably won't be happy that I'm just going to leave the cattle trailer right by the house after we hauled, calves in it. They've kind of smelted up a little bit, but well, that's where I want to leave it for right now. Maybe she won't notice it until she comes outside. It is December. She probably won't get outside too much. It's getting kind of cold. Snow's in the forecast. Hopefully we can get all this stuff done before the snow rolls in. But here I'll get into town and purchase that grain dryer. Alright, here's our grain dryer. I'm not sure how much it cost. Ooh, $100,000. Shoot, let's say no real quick. We got 132. We still need to buy some propane. Well, let's go ahead and do it. 100,000. Buy it once, never have to buy it again. Of course, it'll take probably a couple years to pay for itself on the price that we get out of our corn by drying it over just regular, but oh well. Now we got to go next door, just across the road, and buy some tank that we can haul propane with. So let me do that. I think this one here for the TLX, this little pull behind, probably be our best bet for it. Just want standard capacity. 5,000 liters is more than enough. I think we should change the color since it's going to be propane. Let's see. Well, actually, normally propane is white. I guess we'll just keep it white. I mean, it looks more like a water tank, but too bad we can't put the hazmat decals on it. We'll just go with that. All right. Now grab her and run across and get some propane in it. Looks like we buy the propane from the gas station. I thought maybe we'd buy it from, over here somewhere where all the propane tanks were, but those are all anhydrous tanks. So the gas station looks like it's right up here next to the animal market. So let me go up there and find some propane. Looks like we'll get all the fuel from here. Hey, it's going to the right tank. That's good. Let's see how much a tank load's going to be. $5,000. Well, I guess that's not too bad. $1 a liter. It's probably more than that in real life. Not sure I haven't bought a thing of propane for a while. Let me get this back and get this put in our new grain dryer. There we go. See how much it'll take. Alright, that's one load in. And it looks like that's not very much, but it's only going to use 50 liters per 1,000 corn coming in. So that's not going to take a whole lot. So I'm just going to stick with this right now until it runs out. But we'll start bringing corn up, and maybe 5,000 liters of propane will be enough for this first year. Well, now the snow is starting to fall. Let's try to get a load of corn to town before it starts sticking to the ground. Your old trusted Volvo fired up here. There we go. Got the auger all set up. Hopefully it'll be set up the right height for this. I'm going to see why not. Actually, it looks probably like it's too high. Actually, you know what? It's on the wrong bin. That is the oats bin. I need to move it to the next bin over. So let me back this back out of the way and swap bins. Just kind of glad I remembered that before I started filling the truck up with, was it oats or wheat? I think it was wheat. Always got that, or no, it was barley. It was some kind of crop. There's some kind of crop in that bin over there. When we empty it out, we'll remember. Actually, okay, I'm going to look it up. It is wheat. Okay, it was wheat, not barley, not oats, but wheat. And now we should be set up correctly for the right crop. Oh, there's one. There better be corn in here. There we go. It's working just fine. Well, once this gets loaded up, we will head into town. All right, we are fully loaded. Let's get to town. Hopefully it's not going to snow too much. I do see January is the best month to sell both the wheat and the corn, the dried corn that is. I'm not sure about wet corn. Didn't even look at that because we won't have any of that left. So what we will do next month, we will go back into town, get our dried corn out of that bin and sell it, and then start hauling our wheat to town too. Hopefully there won't be too much snow, but we can go ahead and buy a snow blower or a snow plow to be able to get through if we had to. We're not going to have a lot of money though, so we might have to try to get one load to town without doing too much plowing work. I mean, worst case scenario, we could always have some snowing equipment delivered to us. But let me get this into the dryer and see if we can get it turned up. Well, I'm just pulling back into the house yard here to get our last load of corn out. Snow is really starting to come down pretty good. It looks like we already have about 1,000 liters dried in the bin uptown. So that's going to go pretty quick. Get the last of this loaded up and taken to town, then hopefully it'll all be dried for the next month, which is tomorrow, since we're only on 1-day months here in Alma. So it shouldn't take us too long. We'll run back to town, grab the corn out of the dryer, and take it to market. Right, here we are with the remainder of our corn from our bin. Another 21,000 liters. Not too much over just the one compartment. Very little in the back. Finish this off and see real quick just how much we've dried so far. Yeah, we're up to 1,800 liters dried, so I think in 24 hours we should have enough. Let me get the last compartment emptied out here. And we'll be done until next month. Didn't want to. Oh, it took it. There, it's all done. All right. Cover that up so it doesn't fill with snow. Get this back to the house, put it in the barn. And then tomorrow we can bring our wheat to town and then move our corn to market. So see you tomorrow. Well, it definitely did do some snowing last night. I'm actually out of total mixed ration in the barn. But I see we actually had a surprise over in our sheep pen. Our one female lamb we have ended up having twins. One male and one female. I was a little shocked there. Didn't know the sheep even had twins. Let's see, looks like there's Mama. Not sure where the babies are. Maybe they're in the barn trying to keep warm. Oh, I hear one. I don't see him anywhere, but there, maybe that's. No, that's. Oh, that is him. You don't look very good down there. Huh. Oh well. Anyhow, let me get some total mixed ration in our barn.
for the cabs, and then we can get to town and try to get to town at least in the snow. It's supposed to snow all day, so we need to get it done before it gets too deep. We get to town and get that corn taken over, and also get some of our wheat to town. Let me get some feed first. One nice thing about the game, doesn't matter how cold it is, the tractors still start. We don't have any starting problems here on the farm. I had numerous problems growing up trying to get a tractor to start when it's below freezing. Of course, the older tractors, you'd always use starting fluid, and that would help pretty good. You just gotta try to get the right amount and then get the filter all put back together by the time it fires. These newer ones, they normally, if you'd have them plugged in, they would start right up. I mean, they'd crank a little bit. Not too bad. Let me get the rest of this put in, and we're going to come back and make one more batch of it too. With all the snow we have received overnight, I wanted to get a snow blower, but I really don't have the money, so we're probably just going to have to use the blade that we already had that will work on the tractor. So we'll probably have to blade out in front of the barn where the truck is parked to be able to get it to town to be able to move grain around. So actually probably going to have to blade out around the grain bin as well so he can get over there to get the wheat. Now that we got enough feed in these guys for today, we will go and hook this up to the blade and start pushing some snow around. Our blade is back here. Yep, there it is. It's a pretty nice blade. I'd rather have a snow blower so we can blow it all out of the way, but this will work. Oh, do I have wheel weights on this tractor? Oh, don't look like I did. So hopefully we have enough traction to push the snow. But I will make a path in front of the barn and then around these grain bins and out to the road. Hopefully the road will be good enough. I don't think the highway department's going to go down our gravel road today, especially with it still snowing. But I will push this snow out, see if it works right. Really don't want to push it in front of the building, but I probably just pushed it all into the building somehow. I'll blade some more of this and then we'll get the truck out. Yeah, somehow that is what I did. I ended up pushing the snow through the door of the building into the building. That wasn't very realistic. This tractor's doing just fine in the snow. Should be able to blade enough of this. At least make it good enough that we can get the truck over. Come this way once and try to push the snow the other way. And get a path good enough for the semi. Alright, there I think we've got a path cleaned up good enough that we can get the truck through it. I haven't even looked at the market today to see if the markets are doing good, but yesterday they were looking like they were supposed to be. So I should shut the lights off. Oh. Alright, let's get in the truck and get it loaded up. Well, one thing I forgot to do was switch the auger to the other bin. So now I've piled up all the snow to where I can't get the auger in right. Let's see if I can get this angled just right that we can not make a big mess and still get the auger back to where we need it. There, I think that'll work. One more little push here without backing into the Volvo. Oh, and hitting the bin. I don't think it'll quite fit under it. Yeah, I think our auger will work though. Alright, now I'll try to get this tractor out of the way and then we can get the auger put back in. Now we can see if we lined it up good enough. Hopefully I can make this corner without hitting the auger when we try to leave. There we go. Nope, filling up with wheat and we'll go to town. Well, we're loaded. Let's try to get enough momentum to keep around this corner because that trailer is going to go off a little bit. It's probably going to want to get stuck. Had trouble lining up with the grain bin because it wanted to be off just a little bit. There, we made it. Now, get out onto the gravel road and hopefully we can truck on down the road just fine. Of course, the road's not been bladed, so we'll see once we get on it just how it does. want to go too slow, but I don't want to go too fast either. There we go. All right, well, let's get to town. Well, at least the city streets are bladed off, so we won't have any more trouble. Gravel road really wasn't too bad. I don't know how long it's going to be snowing, though. Tomorrow it might be a lot worse, but we should be staying home tomorrow. I don't think we're even going to go out in February. Don't need to. I guess I got to remember where I'm going. I'm not going to dry this. I'm headed to the market to sell it. Let me get up there and get her sold off. All right, get some wheat offloaded here. Let's see what the market even is. Dried corn. Prices are dropping right now, so we got to hurry and get over and grab that, which is just a block away, so that won't be too bad. But the wheat price is also going down, but it's still better to sell it here than taking it by train. So the first one's done. And you look to see how much that was worth. Maybe the back end will tell us. All right, unload it. See how much we get. Looks like 24, so we're looking at $48,200 for a whole load. All right, turn around here. I think I'll just go right through this building to get over to the grain dryer. Here's our load of dried corn. It actually says the grain mill has the best price. I'm not sure how much I can take here until it maxes out. I will at least try it. I don't have very far to go. Not all of our corn was all the way dried. Here we go. Start offloading. See how much of it'll take. I'd love for it to take all of it. I think it'll take at least 100,000 liters, and we don't have that much, so should be good. See the first portion of the load. Oh yeah, 56,000. That's really good. Really good price. So there should be another 56,000. Then we'll go and let's see what I got left. Of course, I don't know how much I have left. It doesn't say on that one. So let me go down here to the corn dryer. I only have 16,000 liters left, so maybe I'll just hold off on that. Sell it at a different time. So there's another 56,000. Well, that should be enough for today. Got all of our grain. We do still have some wheat in our bin. So we'll hold off on it and sell it when the snow's not all over the place. Make it a little easier to get around. That should do. Welcome in, everyone, to a new episode here in Alma, Missouri. We survived the winter. As you saw in the last episode, it was one of the biggest winters I have seen in Missouri. There was so much snow that our tractor and trucks could barely get through it all, but we survived, and now it is springtime, and we're ready to get down and work in the fields. So let's get it started. All right, now that it is April, we can get our John Deere that we haven't used all winter out of the building and get it up to our case planter. It is all ready to go. We just got to get it out of the building that we haven't used. We actually haven't even used this case planter all year or since we've been here. So we'll go get it hooked up. I think I parked our truck far enough away that we can get to it. Because it is right there in the corner. It's going to be a little bit tight, but I think I can wiggle this thing in. And we got a couple pallets of seed, and this planter does liquid fertilizer. That'll be nice. Be able to fertilize as we go. There. Whew, that's tight. Probably hitting it a little bit with the 3-point. All right, let me get over and get this thing filled up. Hopefully we can fill this without unfolding it. Yeah, maybe not. I might have to actually unfold this thing. I think you could just back up to the seed and it go right in. There it goes. It will go in. I'll fill this up, and then our big field is what we're going to be working in. It's going to be our cornfield this year. Let's see if this is ready to harvest yet. Nope, not yet, but getting close. Let's say one more stage and it should be done because the edge is ready that we didn't quite mow last time. All right, let me get in and get in the field. Well, while I have this worker started here in the field, I'm going to get her speeded up real quick so she can get done a little faster. We're going to hop in the Volvo truck and haul the rest of our grain to town and then move our dried corn to market. So let me get into town. Okay. do believe we have some wheat left in this bin here. Yes, 28,000, so that's going to be over one compartment. We'll do that first. See how much it is in town. Looks like the best price is going to be the grain sell point, which is right there next to the railroad where we normally sell at. So we'll finish loading this up and head right in. Alright, first compartment's going in. See how much more we can get out of all this. Got to have enough to be able to get us through until we can harvest our barley. Then in our barley field, we're going to turn around and plant soybeans right afterwards, so we can get the double crop off of it. I believe they call that a cash crop. That is my hope, to make a little extra by doing 2 crops in 1 year. I'm just going to drive right through here to get over to our corn dryer. I haven't even checked the dry corn market to see if there's any money in it right now. I'll get this loaded up and then we'll see where the money's at. Looks like the money is at the popcorn factory. So I'll finish loading all of this dried corn up, and then we will head over to the popcorn factory and sell it. Looks like only just shy of 22,000 liters. Let me get to the popcorn factory. And right now this popcorn will just stay there. Of course we'll get money for it, but if we ever buy the popcorn factory, we'll already have almost 22,000 liters of dried corn in it. So that's one less ingredient than we need. I think you can have buttered popcorn, which would, obviously we'd have to have a dairy to make the butter. But I am looking into getting a butcher shop so we can butcher our new dairy calves. Let me run up to the popcorn factory and sell this off. And it looks like we just sell that in the middle of nowhere. If I can get, there we go, it's taking it. So, not really a good turnaround place. Almost need to make a driveway right in front of us. But it is giving money for it, so that is good. Finish this compartment, get the other one, and see how much we can get out of our last bit of dried corn. 50,000 on that one. And then another, that won't be too much in the bag, it's almost empty, so just shy of $55,000. Might as well go put this truck away until we're ready to harvest our barley. A guy I work with watched one of these Alma videos and saw I was driving 80 some miles per hour in the Dodge Dually on this map. And to me, this is 69 miles per hour. This does not seem like I'm going that fast. It seems like maybe 45 miles per hour. There's no way you can really handle 74 miles per hour on this gravel road, make this little corner right. So I think somehow the speeds are really off. That's what he was telling me. If I was going a little fast. But I didn't wreck it, so I'm doing okay. Well, our planter is just about out of seed. So I went ahead and bought this seed tank here to store it. And now we're going to run to town and pick up a seed tender. So let me get in the Dodge and head to town. Starting to feel like all the money we're spending, we're never going to be able to buy more land. I'm not sure why my pickup's display is not working. I guess it just needs the lights on. That's different. See if I can shut it back off. There, yeah. Without the lights on, it's all off. Interesting. Well, let me get to the dealership. I do see there's a nice seed tender available. That's what we're going to go pick up. It'd be nice if we could also haul some lime with it too. We don't have any tank for the lime, so if we could do both, it'd be great. Maybe I'll try to buy some lime while I'm in town. This is the seed tender I ended up going with. We'll also be able to haul some limestone to the farm. And since there's actually not a place on this map where we can buy lime, I ended up putting this multi-fruit buying station in over here. So we'll get, I think our fertilizer cart will hold 8,000 liters. So I will go ahead and put 8,000 liters approximately 8,000 liters of lime in here. Oh, that went very fast. Let's see, well, actually, if we fill the whole thing up, we'll be okay. Won't overfill it. Well, maybe if I can get it to go in the front compartment. For some reason, it's not wanting to hit a spot there. Huh. Maybe we can't put fertilizer or lime in the whole thing. I guess I'll just take this to the seed cart, or the fertilizer cart. Run this to the house, and then we will take seed to the planter because it shows he is empty. There, it's kind of nice. It actually starts filling it automatically when you pull up next to it. Thought maybe you'd have to hit some kind of unload. I'm going to throw that liquid fertilizer in the back of the pickup and fill the rest of this thing up with seed. Get it taken out to the planter. Alright, now we're empty. I'll do that. Get to the planter. I'm still struggling on figuring out how to fill both compartments. I know I've used this trailer before, and I quit using it, so maybe there was a reason. Maybe it never worked quite like I wanted. I'll keep messing with it later. I'll turn on the help window to see if there's any special instructions it needs. Maybe like a hopper bottom trailer where you need to switch compartments. I'm not sure. Somewhere up here there should be a tractor with a planter. There he is. Hopefully he comes back and does the other end of the field. No. Fill up the fertilizer while we're here. There. Finally got it lined up right. That finally started going in. Didn't know if I was ever going to. I see you can adjust for each compartment. So hopefully I'll have the help window on next time and be able to do that right. Let me see if I can get out of here and get the liquid fertilizer filled up. Put this thing back in. Go. There. Filled up with all I had, at least. After realizing how little lime I got in here, I might as well just take the semi or something to town and get more, and maybe put it in one of the bins. Because this isn't going to last long. Let's see. See how fast it comes out. I do know it has a good spread on it, at least. Yeah, we're going to drop too fast. I think I'll even set up a course play to go around this field. Yes, that did not take him any time at all to be used up. So we did get this thing clear full, but even clear full, it's not going to quite fill it. So I definitely know why I got rid of this mod. I mean, it is a really nice looking seed tender, but for everything else, it does not work good. Let's fill him up as best we can and let him get back to work. Normally always just get the multi-fruit buying station on the farm. It's so convenient. It just doesn't seem realistic enough. So I try to make it a little bit different on Alma by putting it uptown. Now it's just so far to drive back and forth to get it. I do have a new mod here. It's actually, let me scroll down. It's this HKL silo system. You can actually go in here and buy a whole silo of lime. You can't zoom out enough really to see it. Then have it delivered, and it's not too bad a price. Because I mean that's 25,000 liters, but it requires a truck to haul it, and the truck costs, let's see it right here, $180,000. So I mean it's just not really worth it. Yeah, you could lease this, but it's just to bring a tank. Thing is, you need it again to refill the tank. So I'm just going to keep hauling this little seed cart to town and pick up lime this way. I'll go back and get another load. Now that I got everything going in the backfield, I think this map has had an update. So I believe we can use the auger wagons now to do peas. So I think I'm going to plant what we had in corn last year in peas this year and hope that it works right. So I'm going to get this loaded up. This tractor obviously isn't big enough to to pull the seeder, but see if I can find the trigger here and try to get the seed out of this building. Do I even have seed? Maybe I don't have seed left. Let's see. Seeds. Oh yeah, plenty of seed. Bring them both out. Fill up what we can. Go. Yeah, that's full. Got a little bit left. Yeah, I know this tractor won't. So as soon as the Massey Ferguson is done with the lime, we will bring it up here and have it start seeding this field. I was going to buy a new field, but I think I'm going to hold off right now. Maybe wait till later in the year. And I did look. You could actually, let's get this, scroll down. I guess it's all the way down. We can plant peas now, and let's see what we can plant later in the year. If we planted peas now, we come back and plant rye right after we harvest it. So then rye we can harvest in June, and then we should be able to plant soybeans again, so we can get another double crop off of that. So let me unhook this here real quick, get this back to the house, and I'm sure we're just about out of lime to the spreader, so we'll go fill him up. Well, I ended up firing up the New Holland tractor with our John Deere mower behind it. It's going to mulch our old corn stalks. The weeds were growing pretty bad in it, so I thought it needed mulch. I think you can kind of see it there in the distance. We'll keep an eye on him. I know I put that planter in that field, so I have to pull it out also, so it's not in the way. We're going to fill this guy up. He's almost done, actually. So maybe I should just put one in. I don't know. I don't know how much he's got left. I'll just put it all in, just be safe. And the planter, he's almost done. Of course, I didn't get the lime all the way to the outside edge. I had horseplay set up where it had a 6-meter skip on the left side. So I adjusted it after that first headland. We'll get this thing put out of the way and him finish his liming, and then this field will be done and we can move on to the next one. It was actually Rambo Hacker Gaming that told me about this mower here, that I could switch it over to a mulcher and it could get rid of the grass, outside here on the fields, around the fields. I was always wondering, how can I mow this without having the mowed grass to try to take care of? Well, he told me if I modify this to make it a mulcher, I can come through here and remove this grass, make it look nice. So I thought, well, now that I'm going to be doing that, it'd be nice to also clean out all these weeds. I mean, there's just so many weeds. I doubt it's helping with the weeds. Oh no, it just says needs lime, so maybe it is removing the weeds. Maybe we won't have a weed problem in this field. Like out here, we got large weeds. We also need to get lime in this field as well. But I thought I was just about done spreading lime, but it turns out he still has all of this ground to do. He started to the other end. It's hard to tell when you're planting over where you're liming at the same time to know where you've been and where you haven't been. I'm guessing the planter should be just about finished. Yes, looks like he just has just a little bit here in the corner. Oh, just finished. Now it's perfect timing. Let me get this thing folded up and we can put it away. Yeah, with that New Holland going over there and the lime still taking a while, I think the John Deere might have to plant this field. I think we might be in the way of the mulcher. I might have to let him finish his job first. Hopefully, here in May, this field will be ready to make more bales off of. All of our little bull calves have grown quite a little bit now. They're 5 months old. So they're only worth $300 and some dollars. We bought them at $100. So they still have a ways to go till they're worth enough for me to sell. So I don't have that butcher mod yet that I want to use. I'm going to probably sell the first batch off and then butcher the next round we get. But let me get this washed and put in the barn. Well, there we go. We got the peas started. I'll probably have to stop them a little bit, 'cause we haven't got the mulcher too far in yet. At least we can start. I don't want to run out of day, because the peas, I don't think the peas is only today. Let me check that. I believe peas have a few days to, no, just today. Today is the only day we can plant peas. So we definitely have to get them in the ground so we can finish it today. All right, well, let me finish this up and see you in just a little bit. Well, we got the lime done on the big cornfield, so I think I'm going to come up here and start putting lime on this pea field. The mulcher's starting on this end, kind of the smaller rows, but the John Deere's on its second round around the fields. Let's see if we can try to lime this without running interference with one of those two. Just do it ourselves and we can kind of control that. So I will spread lime here. Of course, we're not going to have near enough. So I already got the seed tender filled with seed and fertilizer for the planter that the John Deere is pulling. So I can't really do lime with that. So I might have to try to find another bulk delivery system. Let me get some of this lime spread. Well, to be able to get enough lime to the farm, I'm going to have to break down and end up getting one of these. I'm just going to lease it because that would take all the money we have. I don't think I need to really make any adjustments to it. Probably don't need a trailer hitch, but it already has one, so we'll just leave that alone. Alright, go ahead and lease. Probably won't be able to buy a building this, or not a building, but a new piece of ground on this episode. I think I'm just going to go with the 25,000 liter, which is the larger one. I wonder how you could lease that. It says you can lease it, but you own the product in it. That's weird. I'll just go ahead and buy it. Alright, there. Now I'll get these two loaded up. Hope if I start it, first time using this thing, hopefully it works like it's supposed to. Let's see. I don't know how I'm going to attach it. Turn on the help window. There we go. Now we're able to get it. We had the wrong setup on the last. Whew, really pulls her down some. Let's see if I can lower that back axle. There, that's a little better. And let's load it. Come on down. It picks it up slowly, which it kind of should. It's pretty heavy. Hopefully I won't have to use an auger to get it to the fertilizer truck or trailer. Alright, let's get this one back to the farm. Excuse me, sir. We're moving here. Alright, see you at the farm. Now the moment of truth. Let's see if we can load this fertilizer cart up without having to grab an auger. Come on. Oh, yes, it does. Yay, that makes it so much easier than dragging an auger out just for this. It looks like he might be good halfway done, if not more, by mulching that field. So as soon as we're filled up, we can get this done. We had to stop the planter because, you know, he started to go over where we haven't mulched yet. I wanted to get sure all those weeds were down. I do see the weeds are still growing, but at least they won't be tall weeds. We'll have those all chopped up. As soon as it's done, we'll get back in the field. Well, now that I got the lime finished, I was just able to drop the tank off here. We're going to leave that. I returned the lease for the truck, so we don't have to keep making payments on that. So we still have 2,700 liters of fertilizer. Ooh, we have used all of our seed, it looks like, to buy some more seed. There's not too much in my seed cart anymore. And of course, 17,000 liters of lime. But let me finish this mulching up, then we can get this seeder going again. Welcome in, everyone, to another episode here in Alma, Missouri. In today's episode, we've got some fields that are ready to be harvested. First off, we have this alfalfa field that is ready. As you can tell, where I fertilized a while back and did not really grow back. So I'm not sure how we're going to fertilize that in the future. Might have to fertilize it right after we mow it before it starts growing. But then our field in the distance there, it'll be ready next month. So we'll get to harvesting it very soon. So let's get down and get this field started. Before we get started with the alfalfa, I'm going to come over here, and we did buy this new field cultivator, or cultivator. It's also known as a hoe. So we're going to get the weeds out of this field. Let me get a worker started on it so we can go over to our alfalfa. And we also swapped out our mower. instead of the old mower we were using. We got rid of that Vermeer, and now we have a Kuhn mower. This is our new mowing setup. I think this will go a lot easier. Had so many problems with that Vermeer, especially when it comes to course play, and it took a while too. With this one, I can actually just mow the whole thing myself and not worry about it. I guess it helps if I unfold the front also. Let's get that turned on. In here a little bit. I don't want to run over any. That's my biggest issue. There we go. Now we can get started. Mow all this. Tell you, we're not getting anything where I had drove over. That's okay. This little New Holland, I think, has enough power to do the job. But if you are one of the new subscribers to the channel, I'm happy to have you in here. Glad you're part of the team now. We have gained a lot of subscribers with our Frontier series that we just wrapped up a few weeks ago. Now we're on to Alma, and coming up soon we're going to have Forgotten Isles. My daughter, she made the map of it, not the map, but the farm build. She did the farm build to that new series, and that'll be starting within, a week or two. I would like to have it out in a couple days. I'm not sure if I'll get around to that or not. But right now we're going to continue here in Alma. But let me get this all mowed, and then we'll get to tedding it. As you can tell, the John Deere is having a rough time. Saying the CVT transmission has gone out on it, so we're not going to be able to use it anymore. We're actually going to have a truck come in a little bit, get loaded up, and we're going to just sell it to the Higginsville John Deere dealership. And then we'll probably end up leasing some other tractor. We still need a heavy-duty tractor to be able to handle the heavy work here. This John Deere just was not cutting it. So, like I said, the dealership's here. We checked it out. It's a no-go. So we're just going to get rid of that and get something different. Well, there she goes. Last John Deere on the farm. I won't have another one of those. They're going to tell me how much they'll give it for me when they get it there and check it out. I'm sure it's going to lose a little bit of money because of the problems with it. But it's under warranty, so they should be able to kind of cover part of that expense. But at least it's gone. Now we'll just have to maybe keep an eye on if there's a sale coming up, if some other tractor's on sale. If not, we're just going to lease one. Let me get back and I'll hop in the tractor and finish mowing this field. We finished the mowing here. Get in and get it tedded. Now the sheep, of course, they will eat just the grass, but we always just ted it all up so we can make hay bales for the cattle. So I don't know if this being alfalfa, if we could actually use just regular alfalfa, or if we have to ted it first, but we're just going to ted it to be safe. He's almost done over in this field. He just has that far corner down there left, and all the weeds are done, except for when I set up course play, for some reason it skipped the outside row. It's the second time I've had a little bit of a field miss, so when he's done over there, I will go around at one time and get it all finished up. So let me get this all tedded, and then we'll probably get the Massey Ferguson over here and start raking it up, and then baler. Looks like another thing I need to do is get the weeds out of our cornfield over there. Forgot all about that field. Just finishing up this pea field here, and looked over and like, oh boy, I got that big field still to do. So right now I do have the New Holland tractor raking our alfalfa, so it'll be ready to bale. So I'll probably bale it before I come over here and weed this field. Could get a herbicide and just spray it. Probably go a little faster. Lease a big sprayer. I don't think I have any sprayer yet. That's something. I also need to spread lime and fertilizer today before the alfalfa starts growing again. I want to get that all done so we don't drive on the alfalfa and kill it again like we did last time. I will finish going around this field, then we will get hooked up to the baler. I'm starting to think I'm going to need to buy another building. Kind of running out of places to put equipment. And I know this is just a cultivator, so it really doesn't need to be inside a building. Sometimes it's nice to make it look a little nicer around the farm.
I'll just put it over here by our snow blade. There we go. Hook up to the baler and get to baling. He's already got a couple headlands done, and he's started his back and forths now, so we'll have a little bit of work to do. Fortunately, you know, when we bale up the headlands, and the bales are a lot of times in the way for him. So now that we're short a tractor, I can't really start picking it up and bale at the same time. We'll work around it somehow. See, unfolded. See if I can remember how to get everything turned on right. And there we go. Start right here first. Got quite a bit of a bale already in it. It's not doing the best on turning around. Kind of overlapping a little bit. I think we'll get it all right. Could always just get a forge wagon and pick it up that way, but I kind of like putting it in bales because then it's easier to just dump right in the feeder wagon. Just need to slow the speed down on this thing. Kind of goes a little fast. Now the real speed mod is turned on. Let's see, is that just our first bale coming out? I think so. All right, well, let me get this part of this done up, and then we'll try to move some of these bales out of his way. Well, we got caught up to the rate, so I just dropped the baler and thought we'll come up here and start picking this up. So if I can see there's a bale there on the end that he'd probably get really close to. I tried to dump him off at the bottom of the hill. He didn't. Well, for once, we didn't have to pull the weight of the bales up the hill, but for two, so they wouldn't be in his turnaround area. There's still a couple that still is in bad spots. So I'll go pick them up real quick. Once this is full, drop it off and get back to baling. Well, that's going to work out perfect. Had just enough bales. One full load. Nope, take that back. There was 2 more bales up here I didn't notice. Forget what I just said. Yeah, they can stay. They're not in the way. I just load those up and take them right into the sheep pen. This thing unloaded. Now, the first time I did this, I did not put it close enough to the building. Let's see if I can do it right this time. I know another time I did it, and I put it on the roof of the building, so that didn't work quite right either. Hopefully this time, back as far as I can. There. Hey, it took it all. Perfect. Alright. Park this thing and get back on the baler. I think there's an invisible tractor still running this PTO shaft. I think that's supposed to be working quite like that. But I can't just pull it around the field. I wonder for super strength if I could just pull it around, pick it up without a tractor. I don't need a third tractor. Alright, back to baling. Well, I decided to hurry and get the lime on before I forget it. Lime, and then we'll know where we've been, so then we'll hit it with fertilizer right afterwards. Another 10 bales off of it, so 28, so 38 bales, I believe, off this field. It's a pretty good amount. Thought about selling that last load, but we have more bales than we need, so we might end up pulling, 14 out of the barn, just selling them, and the market's good for those. I don't think we need this many. But I'll finish this lime, and then I'll get the fertilizer out here, do it. Then I'll go out our cornfield, get it all weeded so there'll be no weeds in it. Skip ahead a couple months and we will go ahead and harvest our barley field. So I'll see you guys in a couple months. Welcome into June. It turns out we were only 1 month away from harvesting our barley fields. We're getting it set up right now. We got the auger wagon already, not the auger wagon. We're hooking up to the auger wagon. We actually already have the auger set up to the grain bin over there. Get all this stuff out of the barn so we can get into our combine, so we can get it hooked up to our chromed out looking bean head we have after all the paint washed off it last time. Get over there and get our combine set up and get in the field. I keep looking at the used tractor market, and right now there's not even a small tractor on it, let alone a large tractor that we need. So I'm keeping my eye on a Caterpillar Challenger or a Case IH tractor that is available. They're both new. I'm hoping they'll end up having a used one soon.
This thing all set up here so I can actually see what I'm doing. Yeah, that's the head, all chromed out. Not sure why it looks like that. The paint is gone. We're able to get this fertilized and limed over here on our right. All the weeds are out of our other fields. These peas actually look pretty good right now. They're coming up really nice. We got the weeds out of the cornfield as well and got it fertilized. So let me see here if I get this working, and I'm going to try to set it up to where I can catch the straw off of it as well. Let's see if it's turned on correctly. It's not. Never remember which button does it. There, I got it. Yay! Alright, let's get a headland done around here. Probably hire a worker to do this because we're already 8%. We haven't gone very far. Let me get him started, and we'll go get the auger wagon. I'm over here looking at our cornfield, and it looks like there's weeds in here, but it doesn't say there's any weeds, and we got rid of the weeds, last month. So I'm not sure what's happening over here. Definitely going to have a weed problem, though. I don't know. It says there's none, but it sure looks like it. Well, this field over here, see, it looks fine. Looks like it's supposed to, except for that one weed here in the middle of the field. I'm not sure what's wrong with that. Must just missed it with the hoe. I'll get back and get the auger wagon and we'll get started. We got the guy running over there right now. He's doing pretty good on his first headland still. Shouldn't be too long till he's ready. Well, then we'll fire up the Volvo truck, get it out on the gravel so we can load it up. Of course, we're not going very far. I'll check the market, see when the best time to sell barley is. Looks like the best time is in December. Got a long ways to go. Right now it's about the lowest price. So we're only coming in at about $8.75 is the best we're going to get out of it. So we're going to definitely hold it in our bin. This works a lot better anyhow than with the duals. You can reach up in there and not have a problem. I still would like that to have a little bit longer auger on it. It seems like we should be able to get a little bit closer instead of having to come at an angle. Which we can do it without the angle, but it doesn't help. So let's get out of his way and get started. I'll show you another field right next to a farm that I'm thinking about buying. Of course, yeah, right now we got about $200,000 out of that John Deere tractor. We don't really have enough money to buy a new tractor anyhow. But this field here, it's just vacant right now. I thought we could buy it. It's really close to the farm. See, it's this field 8 here. Of course, we're in 9 right now, and then this is our alfalfa field in 3. So I thought we could turn it into another grass field. I've debated on that, because we don't have any grass fields right now. We have some grass in between each field that we could mow if we needed, but right now the alfalfa field is enough to keep all of our livestock in check. So that's a possible investment. Let's see, I don't think it costs too much either. $141,000 leaves us about half of our money. Right now, we just don't have a tractor that can actually, till it up. We'd have to use our no-till planter, and that's going to take everything this tractor has just to run it. It actually requires more horsepower than this tractor has. But we're going to have to do it because right now, the sell market has nothing but this Valtra, and the best I can get out of that is 271 horsepower. That's not much bigger because I think this is 260. So it's not really going to help us any. It takes all it has just to pull this auger wagon. It's only half full. He should be about full, so we'll go catch up with him, get him offloaded, and bring it to the semi. Well, I've decided we're going to go ahead and lease this. We did upgrade the engine to 431 horsepower. I do like the Challenger. Growing up as a kid, our neighbor had a Challenger. Kind of like this, of course, a lot older model, and I always thought it was the coolest looking tractor. So I'm going to go ahead and lease it. Looks like $21,000 to get started, but we'll be able to have enough money left over to buy the field next to us. So we can actually plant it. I'll probably plant it in soybeans also. since this will be soybeans, that'll be soybeans, but we can also get out here right now and get started with baling this field up. So I probably should put it on this auger wagon and put the Massey Ferguson on the baler. So let me get some things switched around, get it down here. Well, since we already have the Massey Ferguson hooked up, I just had the Challenger start with the baler. I think it'll be fine. I mean, he'll do great. I mean, the Massey Ferguson is a little weak on power. This auger wagon actually weighs quite a bit fully loaded. This will overfill our semi. We'll have a full truckload already, and then some. So we'll get it up in the bin and come back and keep unloading this guy. There we go. It's going in the bin like it's supposed to. Zoom out. I don't know how you could open the covers on that so it's not going through the lid on the bin. I remember growing up being the guy that gets to climb up to the top and open and close those little covers. I always hated that part. I'm not good with heights. Like in a bucket truck, I'm fine. I can climb up as high as you want. Or not climb up, but go as high as you want. On a ladder, oh, I always dreaded that. Of course, the newer style bins got those nice little cages around the ladder going up. Not on the bins we grew up with. Just you in the open air. The A.O. Smith harvester system, I was never able to climb up it. It was way too high for me. Let me get back and get some more of this. Last time I was going down the hill, I decided I needed to sneeze out of the blue, so I dropped the controller, threw off the headset, and the tractor rolled right through the edge of that field, drove right over the crops. Like, oh man, I would just been over just a little bit more. Hate tearing up crops by driving through it. You know, I did all kinds of damage to the alfalfa field the last time I fertilized it. Now here I am driving through other fields. We're going to actually get a lot of barley off of this. This is going to be close to filling the truck up with just this one, since I had some left over from the previous. Get this off. I have to start maybe moving some of the bales off the ends so that your combine can turn around. Looks like the Challenger still has one more round of the field to go, and then we're probably going to be getting close to the combine's turnarounds, which is really not a whole lot left. He's definitely over half done, I think. And I'll finish this combining and see how many liters we get out of it. Well, this is the last of our barley field. I could probably get a bit out of it. We'll definitely get a lot of straw. Still got quite a little ways to go there, so we'll take the rest of this to the truck, come back with the loader trailer for the bales, get the rest of those picked up. Those put in the barn, then we'll be able to bring a planter out here and start seeding this in soybeans. I think we do have enough money left over. We will go ahead and buy that field next to the alfalfa field down there. We'll seed it in soybeans too, so we can have both these come available for harvest at the same time. Get this combine put away and finish putting the beans in the bin, or the barley, I guess, in the bin. Another thing I wish I had money for would be another cattle barn. Notice we can raise our small bulls in there until they're big enough to sell. I'd also like to have either milking barn or some kind of barn to do more than just beef cattle. I really don't want to mix them all in here. I just want this to kind of be a growing barn for them, so we get these bulls big enough to be able to sell for beef. Right now, let's see what their price is. Right now, their price is up to $406 a piece. So that's a lot more than the $100 we paid for them. So we got 4 times our money, but I want to let that number keep growing. We did have more lambs, though. We have our one full-size female lamb. It's had like 5 now? Yeah, 5. So she had triplets that last time. She's doing really good. Maybe we need to do sheep. They really reproduce good. But let me get this all put away and get the rest of the... Oop. Looks like when I went to that screen, I drove right into the tree. We'll get the rest of the crops in the bin. And then start picking up bales. This is the remainder of our barley. Offload it here. Alright, get up here and see how many liters it's going to be. There, still going. Looks like 98,000 liters. That's a pretty good harvest. Put this thing away and get down there, finish those bales. Then we'll get the Challenger hooked up to our planter. I got to remember to leave room in there. I mean, the Challenger on tracks, it'll maneuver really easy in the barn. I might just pull this thing in straight. And I'll just back it out. We'll go to the side here so we get the other tractor in to get that planted. Alright, should be good enough. Yeah, I think it'll be room. Far enough in that we can close the door. Let's get picking up those bales. Well, I bought that field next door. We're going to go over there first and seeded in soybeans. I still have straw bales I'm picking up on our side, the little creek. So I'll finish this one, and hopefully by the time he's done over here, I'll have the straw bales picked up over there. Got her filled with seed and liquid fertilizer. Folded here. I forgot how long this thing takes to unfold. Get it unfolded and get her started. Looks like we do have some rocks in this field, but we're not going to get picked up this time. It should be okay. It's getting rid of the weeds, but I'm pretty sure, once I get out of the way, we're going to have weeds growing. Yep, so we're still going to have to come back here next month and either spray it with herbicide or bring our cultivator out and get these weeds out of here. Should pick these rocks up first, but with all the lime, you really can't see the rocks in it. I guess you can. There's some down there. Well, while he's planting this field, I'll go back across and get the rest of the straw bales. Well, I had just the one bale left. I thought that was too few to worry about bringing the pickup trailer back. Use this little tractor here. Put it off the ground. Take it right to the cows. They could use it in the barn. I think it's supposed to make manure. I don't think it's actually making manure because I don't have a manure like storage place for it set up. We only have the liquid manure, which reminds me we need to get a slurry spreader so we can start using that as fertilizer instead of using all this fertilizer in the fields. It's costing us all this money. Well, now that we have plenty of alfalfa bales ready to feed the animals with, we're actually going to go to town and pick up a couple more loads of sheep. Now that the sheep is actually the one lamb that we have is producing 2 to 3 baby lambs each time. I'm starting to think, you know, we could make some money off of sheep. And we're using those old dairy calves to try to make money on the beef side of things. Well, let's try to make some more sheep by buying more full-grown sheep. I'm going to go to town and load up a couple loads and get some more feed into them, and we're going to see how much we can make on sheep. Alright, here we go with the last load of them, another 20. Perfect, now we got another 40, so 41 total in there. Let me grab some bales of alfalfa and get them fed. I know the new lambs aren't going to bring us a lot of money, but we're going to get some wool out of them, and all they take is these bales of hay. So, I mean, it's not costing us a lot in food like the cattle are. And we're going through 2 loads of total mixed ration every day, and we still run out. So I need to try to cut back on that or get a bigger total mixed ration machine. And we're using that smaller one right now. We do make some bigger ones and definitely some modded ones. There. Alright, now they should be good for a while. Got plenty of sheep in here. Oh, it must be one of the little calves that grew up. We didn't have any with horns earlier. Let's see what the value of that one is. Might be worth some money. 8. Yeah, it looks like he's worth $275. So that's pretty good. I mean, they're about Well, probably a third of the way full on food for right now. We only use 6,600 liters a day, as you can see in our daily foods total here. So not too much there. So they're not gonna cost us much. Those 2 fields that we planted in soybeans in the last episode, they are ready to be fertilized again. We're gonna go and get them fertilized up so we get maximum yield out of it. Make sure this is the right bin. It is. Perfect. So fields 8 and 9, I believe. I did forget to lime the one field. Ooh, that's all we had. Boy, we didn't have much in there. See how far this will go. If not, we're going to have to buy more. We got 108,000. I was hoping to save up enough money to buy that field right next to us. But it's 500 and some thousand, and it's in peas right now. It'd go perfect with our current pea field. I'll go down and we'll start fertilizing. Well, I notice this is a very realistic setup. I mean, normally crop destruction in the first growth stage doesn't affect anything, but I just drove out here and we've already done damage, so we're not going to be able to fertilize that. I mean, I could switch this out with narrow tires. There's one option, but I'll probably just leave it be, not even bother with fertilizer. So I don't know if this fertilizer cart would do damage to it or not. I'll just go put this back up and we'll advance it another month. Well, good news is we're in August and the peas are ready to be harvested. We can go ahead and harvest those. I really wish we could harvest the neighbor's pea field. Wish we owned it, but we don't. We'll get ours harvested and our alfalfa is ready to have its second cutting for the year. So I'm going to go grab the combine and we're going to get started in this pea field. Well, when I was going to go get the combine, I thought I'd look at this soybean field real quick, and yeah, we also have a major weed problem in this field that we didn't get done. I might have to actually see if I could rent a high-profile sprayer and come in here and spray it with herbicide, because of course no weeder is going to do it now, and maybe the narrow wheels won't do any damage. But there's a lot of weeds. I'm not sure if our other fields got it too or not. Yeah, this field's got some medium-sized weeds in it as well. So I think, if we would go ahead and get that high-profile sprayer, spray this, kill all the weeds, then put put fertilizer in it afterwards, we could actually get it fully fertilized as well. So, but first, I think we better get in the field to combine, because it looks like on the calendar up there, the rain is coming. One thing we're going to get to find out on this episode is if the map's been updated to where we can actually use auger wagons, then our grain bin augers as well, to do peas. Well, the first time we did this, it did not work. I'm hoping it has been changed, because I would really love to just store it so we don't have to drive down the railroad tracks again trying to haul our peas to town, so we can't use our truck either. But we'll find out soon enough. I'll get in the field and start harvesting those peas. Now to the moment of truth to see if this auger wagon will do its job. Looks like our corn's looking pretty good though. Really happy to get a big crop off that this year. Probably have to chop some of it. We still have the chopper. We leased it last time and we're leasing to buy, so we'll be able to keep making those lease payments. Let's see if it unloads into us. I don't think I got this far last time. I don't think we even tried. Yeah, it does. Yay. Perfect. We'll be able to get these peas offloaded into our bin then. I did notice there's actually a new high-profile sprayer that came from the premium pack that we're going to go ahead and lease. That is what we're going to use to hopefully spray all that grass and weeds that are in that field up there, because it looks really bad there on our left. I don't want to lose that much crop by having all those weeds. And this way we'll also be able to fertilize it again too. So it's a win-win, except for the lease cost. That's a lose-lose. But I'm going to get this up here, parked out of the way, then we will get that sprayer. I think this is what we're going to go with, the Agrio Dino 2. I think that'd be a good one. 36 meter. I think I'd rather have a wider the better, so we don't have to make as many passes. And I think everything else will be fine. It's got the narrow tires, and that's what we want. Of course, we don't have the money to buy it, so we will lease it. All right, let's hop in it And fire it up. I'm not sure. Do I have liquid chemical here or not? Don't look like it. I might still have some in this building, though. Our pallet storage. Got something in there. Let's see if that's herbicide or fertilizer. Turns out to be liquid fertilizer. So we're going to go ahead and get those. I guess that was just one small one. Must be a partial also. There. I think we'll spray it first then with fertilizer. That way we can tell if we're going to run over anything or not. Fill it up real quick and see in the field. Good news is it doesn't look like it damages any crops. So I can get through here and get this sprayed up, get it fertilized, and we'll come back and remove these pesky weeds. Hopefully we can get this done quick enough that we won't make the combine wait too long for us. I'll fertilize this, and then once we run out of fertilizer, I'll try to just get enough to finish this field. Then we'll get that herbicide put in. We had enough fertilizer for this field and the next field, I'm sure. Of course, we didn't even get one way around, and he was ready already. So I'm going to get a hired hand to do this other field, and we'll come back and take care of him while somebody else sprays this field. Well, I just hopped in the cab and noticed this says Claas as the brand name. So Agrio and whatever country this was made in must go under the Claas name. I thought that was kind of interesting. Learned something new, because I didn't notice Claas anywhere on the outside of it. No, nowhere is that name shown on the outside. That's neat. Learn something every day. Alright, well, let me get this guy started. Alright, now they're going over there. We can get back to doing the real work, the money-making work. Oh, he's clear on the other side of the field. Oh, I would love to cut through. Alright, let me get over there. I was thinking probably instead of using this auger wagon, we probably should just grab our other pull-behind wagon, so we don't have to dump it in the truck first before putting it in the bin. So after this run, I'm going to actually swap wagons out. I think that'll make it a little quicker and save having to get the truck out of the building that way. I do need to set the auger up to the other bin, though. It's still on the oats bin. We'll run this up and dump it in the other wagon. Looks like the auger wagons are definitely working now. That's good. I was a little worried that it wasn't even going to dump in this, but I realized, you know what? It worked. We used that last year to take our piece to town. So I know it has to work. We can just put this thing away, and we're just going to start using that wagon for everything. Pulled a lot more. We got the sprayer to go take care of. He's done fertilizing the one field. He needs to have herbicide put in and get to back to the other one, get those weeds killed off. And we need to get back to the combine. If I can back this thing in straight without hitting something. There we go. Get back to that combine and get him unloaded again. Well, we still haven't used up all of our fertilizer. A little bit left over for next time. I really like what Rambo Hacker Gaming did here. He put a little bridge in to get back to the farm. I don't have that bridge. So if you haven't noticed his yet, go to Rambo Hacker Gaming and check out his Alma series. It's got some extra details to it that our farm is lacking. I gotta go clear around this alfalfa field. Hey, you know what? We can test it to see if I can drive through it with these narrow wheels. Get out. Ooh, that's close. Alright. Oh yeah, the narrow wheels don't hurt anything. Nice. I guess I can do everything. I really just need to buy one of these. That's what I need to do. Let's get this thing unloaded and get some herbicide put in it. Really didn't want to do this, but I think we're just going to go ahead and buy a multi-fruit buying station. So we can get everything we need in one thing instead of going back and forth. Now hopefully it will let me have herbicide. Let's see why not. So we'll find out when we get under here. Yes, herbicide. There we go. I think that's probably enough. He's blocked by an object. Or my tractor. Oh, he is kind of in the way, huh? Whoops. Let me jump out and move him then. Excuse me, sir. Alright, now we can get back and get our weed sprayed. Look at those weeds instantly die. You know, I've sprayed fields many times before, and it normally would sometimes take weeks to start showing their death and destruction. But you know what? If it wasn't instant like this, I would never know where I've already sprayed. So I will spray this up, and then I have course play still set up on the other soybean field, so I'll probably let that guy do that field. I will finish this one. Alright, now we got the guy started up in the alfalfa field, so we can get our second cutting on it done. So we pretty much have to focus on babysitting the combine. I really would like to upgrade our combine this season, but as you can tell, with $62,000, we're not going to get much for $62,000, especially when we're leasing that sprayer over there, and kind of the sprayer came in handy. It'd be nice to buy. Maybe when we're done with that, we'll return it and we'll buy a pull behind sprayer. That can still do everything we need. Well, we'd still have the tire issue though. I might just have to break down and put narrow tires on this tractor. We'll have him mow this up, and then we will go take care of the harvester. We are done spraying. So let's go. I'm going to go unload this herbicide that's in it so we can keep it. Then we will return this sprayer. It looks like he missed a little here on the end. That's not too bad. I can live with that little bit. But I did kind of enjoy this. This is a nice sprayer. I'm not sure what flag that one is in the corner, what country that is. So if you know, leave that in the comments. What flag? That's white on top, red on bottom, with the blue triangle on the side. Not a country that I know of. So let me unload this and return it. Well, we're just about done with the pea field here. I was just looking at upgrading our rake. Now, right now we have that Vermeer rake. We've upgraded a lot of stuff like the mower. We upgraded it last time. And now there's actually a rake. I'm hoping our Massey Ferguson tractor is going to be big enough to do. But I want to see if we could put this particular rake on the front of it and be able to bale at in the same pass. So I don't have enough money to buy it, so we might lease it, which we can get rid of the Vermeer mower. We don't, or not mower, but the rake. We won't use it anymore. So maybe by selling it, we'll have enough to buy the new rake. Let me finish up this, get this thing put away. It looks like it needs to be washed again. So we'll wash this combine up and get it put away. Then we will head off and do some trading with some equipment. Well, this is the merger that I wanted to use, the new rake, but I cannot toggle it to the middle. I have left, right, and then outside, where it both spreads to the outside. So this isn't exactly what I wanted to go with. I'm trying to think how I could make this work to be able to bale and do this at the same time. I don't think I can do it with this. Well, that's too bad, 'cause that would have been really neat. To be able to just go through and rake it to the middle. If I do it to the side, that's not going to really do any good at all. Well, that stinks. Well, I'll have to think of something else for the next time. So I guess what I'm going to do is just go around the field like this and then rake two together. I mean, it will move pretty good, pretty quick. Kind of like the new Oxbow one, but the Oxbow would do it all in one pass because it's like twice the width. So, and it's still missing some too. I don't know if the speed makes it miss or not. This is part of the hay and forage pack from probably been about 3 months ago. I know my 6-year-old, he loves that pack. He likes little walk-behind mowers. Oh, I guess he's not done tedding yet. I guess I better not do all this yet. Start on the other end. But I'll rake this all up, and then we'll go ahead and bale it. Before I did too much, I figured I better get out here and make sure it can pick up this big of a windrow. This is raked two to the right, and then come back, and then bring one more into the middle. And it's getting most of it. I think close enough to getting all of it at least. So I mean, it will still go faster, I think, than the Vermeer will, just because you can bale it a lot quicker, because you've got so many more rows merged together. Yeah, because let's see, we've already made over 2 bales in the machine still. All right, yeah. I'll just keep doing it this way. 2 and then 1 to the middle. Welcome into September here in Alma, Missouri, where harvest is about to be in full swing. We're getting ready to start chopping our cornfields, and then by next month we'll be able to harvest the rest of our corn, along with our 2 soybean fields that are coming up. So let me get down and let's get started. Now that we are still renting this forage harvester, we're going to go ahead and we're going to chop more of our corn this year than we did last year, so that we can get it in our fermenter, in our harvester system, get it fermented, and then we're going to sell some this year because we're a little short on money. We are currently down to just $64,000. We need a lot more to be able to do any real spending here, but I want to set up horseplay on this, and we'll grab the Massey in our wagon and we'll start chopping this because we got the Challenger over there. If you can see in the distance, he's cultivating that field. But let me get this one started up and we'll start chopping corn. Since our last episode, I have updated this map. Unfortunately, it did cause a little issue. Right now, our cow barn, we can't put straw in it, so that's one problem. So we can't make manure. But one other thing that did come up with that update, now you can make some some alfalfa silage with a fermenter. So I would like to start doing that. Unfortunately, the mod to do it, I think it was $100,000, but it takes up a lot of space. I always go too fast with this chopper, I don't know why. So we can't really use up much space. I'm hoping I can find a different mod that'll allow me to do alfalfa, to be able to ferment it, so we can make some that way. Boy, I gotta get rid of some of that trash. Oh, come on, keep going. Well, let me circle around and try this again. Not going to be much room to get through there anyhow. But I'll get a couple headlands done here, and we'll take all this to our fermenter, and we'll see what we can do. Actually, I could probably just run behind him. Probably work just fine. But I'll get some of these headlands done, and then we'll get some silage made. Well, I don't even know if we're going to get one complete headland done. This is actually the 5th load. We hold 52,000 liters each time around, or each full trailer. I think that's going to be more than enough chaff even to sell it. It'll be fine. We still had over 100,000 liters left from last harvest, so I might just call it quits here with this and let this corn finish growing. And then next month we can finish harvesting it. So let me just get rid of that guy here. He's done. Oop. I still had flight mode on. Get back into this tractor and let me run this back up. We'll put it in the fermenter, get it fermented, and we might grab a bigger trailer and start selling off what we had last year that's already fermented. I'm actually started feeding the cattle more alfalfa and less of the total mixed ration. Really, their health was just as good by just feeding the alfalfa to them, and as long as they keep growing, that's all that really matters to me. So let me get this one dropped off. We should have enough money to be able to lease a bigger trailer to haul more than just 52,000 liters to town. I'll probably get a TLX branded trailer that can hold 200,000 liters, so we get about 4 of these in each run. I'll drop this off and spend some money. Well, I actually don't have the mod I thought I had in my list, so we're going to go with this one instead. Then we can just pull it with our dually pickup. I mean, it'll hold 182,000. That's pretty close to what I wanted anyhow, and it's only 19,500. So I'm going to go with that. And we'll just probably everything is fine. And let's put some mud flaps on it. Branding, we don't need it. We'll still keep gooseneck. Colors, they're all fine. All right. One thing we're going to find out about this is if we're going to have enough to make this worthwhile to pay for all the extra silage equipment we have by renting that chopper and then buying this trailer. We'll find out how much money we can make to see if we need to chop more of it or if we actually need to get rid of the chopper. There's other things we can do. We could take this grass and we could put it in the fermenter and make silage with it too. We don't have to use the corn. We already own the corn dryer. So, I mean, that's a big money maker right there. So I want to get as much corn as I can off this field to be able to dry it and make twice as much. So let me finish filling this up and we will run it to town. Well, it's a good thing I didn't get a bigger trailer yet because I couldn't even fill this one all the way. But we do have 254,000 liters of chaff still in here fermenting. So we will take this part, we will sell it, and then we could always sell another load if we wanted to. We have plenty of bales and enough chaff still in there to make silage for ourselves. Or like I said, we could always mow some grass. Let me get this to the livestock market and see what we can get out of it. As I was driving to town, I was wondering if I was to get the quick baler, could I wrap those alfalfa bales next time we mow our alfalfa field? So we could do that. Boy, 83,000, that's really good. I think we might just run another one of these loads to town when it's done fermenting. But yeah, anyhow, back to my story about the bales. If I could wrap those and have those ferment, I mean, that would come in handy. Then I wouldn't have to worry about trying to find a fermenter that would work. Looks like that lady is stuck behind those guide wires. Can't even get around. Something that would work to make some silage out of all that alfalfa. Because we have so many, hay bales right now out of alfalfa. It'd be nice to be able to also create some silage bales from them. I know it takes a little bit longer to ferment than this fermenter that we're using, but I mean, wait a couple months, that's okay. We're gonna have to wait probably another month anyhow to have enough for another full load. Excuse me. Let me go back and we will get the chopper put up, because I don't think we're gonna chop anymore today. And we will wait for the Challenger to get done cultivating that field, and we will go to sleep, and then we'll get to harvesting in October. See you next month. Well, we made it to October. Unfortunately, now it's wanting to rain. Now we gotta wait a few hours for the rain to stop, so we don't have any kind of lost productivity. Oh, looks like I still need to wash that bean head over there. It's still filthy. But we did do a little shopping. We bought this attachment to a slurry tank. We're going to start spreading some slurry. But right now we don't have the money for, this slurry tank. So we have a lot of liquid manure. So now I'll just get set up in the cornfield and wait for the rain to calm down. The neighbor harvested all his peas already. That was one field I was hoping to be able to have enough money to buy, but not this time around. Let me get up here and get ready for this one. Well, as we continue to wait for the rain to stop, which according to the calendar it's almost done, we decided to start planting some rye in this field. Got some lime going at the same time. The reason we have more money now is because we ended up selling the semi and the trailer, since we're going to start using the Dodge Dually with the fifth wheel to haul our grain around. Because it actually holds more than what our semi-trailer did, since it's modded and kind of a cheaty type deal, but I think it'll come in a lot more handy and saves us a lot of money. Plus now we have over $200,000. So now we're going to be able to buy that slurry spreader. So as soon as the rain stops, we'll start that combine up and get him going and start running some corn to town to dry. So see you when the rain stops. Well, we are now full swing into our corn harvest. He's got one headland finished up and started on a second one. We're done liming our old field in the middle. Now we just got to get the rest of the seed in the ground. Looks like it runs right through the machine. Not sure if this is fully fertilized or not. Let's see. Well, it says it needs lime. Oh no, it don't. It looks like it's fully fertilized and just needs rolling, but we never roll our field, so there he goes. We got enough. We'll finish filling this up and take it to our new fifth wheel trailer. Next season we are going to break down, either get a loan for a new combine, or at the very least get a lease on a new one. because I don't like filling up all the time like this. I want a higher capacity. When we do corn, it fills up way too fast. Especially since we've upgraded our trailer to 185,000 liters. We need to get something bigger for our auger wagon and our combine. Let me go back, and he's already full, so she's not too far away. But we'll finish filling our fifth wheel pickup here, and we will run that to our grain dryer. Well, I was just talking about, upgrading this combine to a bigger one. That's when I was looking to see what I was going to get. I looked in here, and this combine can actually be modded to 50,000 liters. So it'll be big enough. We just have to go in here and, customize it, get the bigger grain tank. Let's see, 25, 50,000. So it's going to add another $22,000 to the expense. No, it's not. Actually, that's for the tracks. So it doesn't raise the price at all for the grain tank. So we're just going to go mod it as soon as we're done with this field. I'm not going to do it in the middle of harvest, but I will do it before we go on to the next field. Well, now that it's starting to get dark, we finally got to 97%. Now, we still got quite a little bit of field left, but we got through a big chunk of it. I'm sure we're 3/4 of the way done already. But we're close enough to full. Let's just run it to town while the combine fills up again. I really can't wait till we expand that capacity to 50,000 liters. It's just filling up too quick right now. I actually started just using the pickup and fifth wheel to go empty the combine. That went a lot faster too than using that grain cart, so I'll probably end up selling the grain cart. Really don't need it anymore. We end up wanting a grain cart, we could always get a bigger one. I'm going to run this to town and hopefully get it offloaded before it gets too dark, and then we'll go back and finish combining that cornfield. Welcome into November. Late last night we were able to finally get all of our corn done. We actually have partial load over there still in the trailer right now that we put away just in case it rained last night. We're going to get this thing set up in the soybean field, and then as we run that to corn, I see we're also out of propane in the dryer. I need to get into town and get that filled back up so he can be going again to dry all of this corn. But I thought before I do any of that, I would like to get this soybean field started. Alright, now that he's going good, we're actually going to do a straw off of this soybean field this time. We get a little extra money out of the bales, but we will run to town and take the rest of that corn in. Here we are back at the corn dryer, and there's our little propane tank we need to go refill. So get this dumped off, then we will spin over there and grab it. Ooh, hit something. Oh, I haven't tried delivering in this before. Looks like those gates are going to collide with something. Let's see if I can go on past it. Maybe it won't hit delivering it here. There, it misses. Ooh, a little worried. Like, we just used this trailer earlier to deliver a load. Don't know what the difference was. All right, go ahead and drop it off. Get that propane tank. If my memory serves correctly, the propane comes from the gas station. Go ahead and go over there. Hope I'm remembering it correctly. It's not too far away. Okay, this is the livestock market, which we do have some of those calves. You know, they're a year old now. So we are probably going to be bringing those on the next episode. So this is the turn to get them sold off. So I believe they're around $600 right now. If I get the right one. Oop, I filled the pickup up. There we go. Filling propane. And $6 to fill the pickup. It wasn't too bad. It costs a lot more for me to fill up my minivan than that. $5,000 for propane. Let me get this back to the dryer and get it topped off. Alright, propane going in, another 5,000 liters, so that should be enough to get it going. I said I was going to top it off, but, you know, that doesn't top it off. That just gets it started. Check the numbers. Now that should be enough to be able to dry all that corn. Well, I hope, maybe not. We might need to get more propane. But this will be enough to get us through probably today. So let me get back to the farm. I think we have some grain to sell also. Guess we won't be hauling that new grain to town quite yet because our combine's already full. I forgot all about upgrading its size, so it's still the 14,000 liter capacity instead of the 50,000 like I wanted. I told you I was going to do that before I started the soybeans, so I forgot all about it. I'll get in here and use this to unload what I do have. I think before I sell all these bales, I'm going to end up getting a different pickup wagon. Some auto load wagon that we can take more than just the 14 that this will hold. I would like to get more to town. I wish I would have kept that semi now, because that would have came in handy, because then I could have loaded it up with these straw bales. But I got rid of it. I do still have the auger wagon. I got to get rid of it still. That'll get us over the $200,000 for sure. Looks like the combine is full again, so let me get up here in the pickup and go empty him off again. Well, this first soybean field yield is 43,000 liters. So we'll see what the other one's going to do. I don't think it's quite as big of a field, so I won't expect as many. We'll put this in the bin. I got the bin set up before I start picking up those bales. I used the Challenger to move the auger around. Kind of an overkill tractor, a little bigger than needed to just move an auger, but everything else is kind of tied up at the moment. Let me unload this, and we should be able to call it a day. Welcome back to Alma, everyone. Here it is in December again. The snow is starting to fall, so we're going to get some bales of hay sold in town. We got some peas we need to sell. There's a bunch of things that need sold off, and I want to try to get everything sold before the snow starts sticking to the ground. We also need to get a slurry tank to be able to spread that slurry that our cows have been producing. We also have all those bowls now that are a lot larger. Let me check the price of those. As you can see, they're $686 each now, and we only paid $100 each for them. So we'll be able to make some good profit off of those. And we might actually get some dairy cows in instead of just these calves that we have now. We might upgrade to be able to produce some milk. I really would like to produce some milk, make a little extra income on that. We bought all those sheep on the last episode, and I think it'd be a good time to sell some wool, get some money from that, and with all the money from that, that should be able to pay for some of our new cows that we're going to get. So let me start getting some of this to town, get it sold, and get that slurry tank picked up. One thing I haven't told you yet is we actually did buy this new trailer here, so we can hold 30 bales, a lot more than what our little pickup trailer would hold. This way we can bring more to town at a time. I should have got the one with the ramps. You could have got this exact same trailer with ramps. And if we would have done that, we could have actually loaded some stuff up on top of it. There is an international semi I'm thinking about buying. It's an older one. If we got it, it would look a lot better pulling this trailer than this little dude. I mean, this pickup's got some good power, but I think I've already passed where I need to go. It has the power. It just really, that'd be a lot of weight for this pickup. Try to turn around here. But also in this episode, I'm going to get some greenhouses. We're going to start growing some tomatoes this winter in the greenhouse to be able to come up here and buy this ketchup factory. Actually, that's not the ketchup factory. That's the popcorn factory. The ketchup factory's on the other side. By getting a few of those things, we should be able to start making ketchup. Here we go. See if I can line these up right to sell them. I got some in the right spot. Oh, that's actually quite a bit. They're just free straw bales. Get the rest of these off. There we go. 21,000, another 14. I'm sure I have maybe not a full load left of these, because these are the ones from the soybeans. I'm keeping the regular straw bales. We use those for total mixed ration. But for everything else, it'd be nice to get rid of. Let me stop up here in the dealership and see if I can get that international truck purchased to be able to pull this trailer a little better. I think this is what I'm going to go with. About $36,000. Not too bad. Kind of an old look, and it's a school bus yellow. So we'll go ahead and buy that, and we'll get it loaded up on our pickup here. I did adjust it to put the ramps on it, so now we can haul something at the same time. So let me get back and get it loaded up. I think we'll go with this Fieldmaster 20 here. It's got 20,000 liters it'll hold at a time. I would like a little bit bigger, but we don't really have a tractor that's that big. We only have that small pull behind for it. So we'll go get this one. $120,000 though. That really eats into our pocket. Hop in. I hooked up the International to the trailer, so I think as long as this pickup will hook up to this, we can load this whole thing on that trailer in one shot. Get it all back to the farm. I don't have the follow me mod installed on this map, so I can't have somebody just follow me there. So I think this is going to be long enough. Let's see. I knew with all this it'd be way too much for the... I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to put the ramp all the way up, but I think that will do. A few straps on here. There. That'll stay put. Let's see if the truck can do it. Try to raise the ramp some. There we go. I did upgrade the engine on the truck. 536 horsepower, I believe. That should be enough to pull it. Well, I'll get this back to the farm and we'll get the Challenger hooked up and start spreading. Well, we made it home safely. Now with that new International, we could probably get a bigger cattle trailer. I'd like to be able to haul more than 20 at a time, especially since we're going to be moving more around. Oops, I'm on the wrong side. So we'll just kind of cheaty load it. Pretend like we're hooked up. Load it up nicely. I'll load this up and we'll go hook up to the implement to till up the ground. Alright, so get this lowered right. If I do this before the ground's frozen too bad, it can go 9 miles per hour, so it has enough power. We'll get this done. It's going through it pretty quick, but I'll set up horseplay and let somebody else do the work in this field, and we'll continue selling last year's crops. Now that he's out in that field spreading the slurry, we're going to hop up here and we're going to try to see if we got a full another load in here or not. I could finish it with straw bales, because we do have plenty of those. Let's see what we have to choose from. Alfalfa hay, soybean straw. Looks like we got 37, so we have a full load. So we're in that one. Then back to soybean straw. We need 5 more for a full load. That should be everything. Ooh, I was even close enough to start loading. Get those last 6. Be ready to go to town already. The truck, for the extra power we put in it, I think it would go a little faster. Get in the right spot. There we go. Alright, let's head to town. Here we are with our last load of these we're going to do. Let's see if I got them all in the right spot. Oh, nope, still missing just a few. Get that loaded up again. Go, back it up. So I thought what I could do, I could, buy a bigger cattle trailer, but I think it'd be cheaper, because I think the cattle trailer is almost $90,000 to get the big enough one that I want. I could pay somebody to haul it a lot cheaper than ever paying off that cattle trailer. So we'll just go back to the farm and we'll just sell them direct. Then maybe we'll buy our new cows the same way. Not sure how much the cows are compared to what we're going to get off the bulls, and I'm sure the guy spreading the slurry is going to be about empty also, so he'll need to fill back up. We'll go back to the farm and see him there. I'm just going to change the settings here so it'll actually refill the slurry from the cow barn. That'll make it a little easier so they don't have to worry about coming back and filling them up all the time. He was able to make one headland and still had 9% left, but I thought he's not going to get very much farther, and I really don't want to sit here and babysit him with this big of a field. So we'll just do it itself now. Alright. This gate here, we can see all the bulls we have. There's one cow somewhere in there, but get rid of the bulls and we'll know. I think she actually had a calf too, I believe. Yes, she did. There was one calf born overnight. So, but we do have 60 of these bulls we're going to sell. Sell them all in one shot. Perfect. See, it's only going to cost us $3,975 fee to sell it, and it's going to be about $90,000, like I said, for the trailer. So there. Let's see what a new one would cost here. We got a female calf. It's $200. So I think we're going to come in here and buy 60 of those. There. Now we're equal numbers, besides the one that we already had, and we'll be able to start producing milk. A lot of cute little calves. As soon as they fix that update on this, so I can get some straw in here, it would really help. So then I can make solid manure as well. All right, now that that's done, we'll get back and we will build our new greenhouse. The whole point of doing these greenhouses is so we can have the ketchup factory. Not sure what side they spawn out on. We'll just put one. Let's see, do I want to? Maybe I'll do it sideways like this. And we can just come onto this road with the water and whatever other supplies it might need. Looks like it only takes water. So, yeah, and it goes on that side. We'll put 2 of them in. Spend about $20,000. Now we got 2 greenhouses. And now we're going to put in a water distribution tank. Hopefully I can make it work correctly. If I can find it. This is the first time using this. I see a bunch of other guys that do use it. There it is. It was in silo extensions. I think we maybe, well, probably should put it out front. There we go. Now if we go up to it, see what it takes to fill it. Not sure if it'll fill automatically or not. Let's get in here and get the tomatoes turned on. Tomatoes on this one and tomatoes on that. Looks like it already has water. So yeah, this thing does everything we need. Makes it really easy. And this one's also growing already with water. So that's a perfect little water distribution tank. Not too bad a price either. Can't remember what it cost me. No, it wasn't much. Saddle extensions, $2,100. And it supplements 5,000 liters. So, perfect. It's closed off. I know earlier I said it was the peas we were selling, but no, it's not the peas that's the best price. It's the barley. Hook up to our trailer here. The pickup was so much faster, so I'm just going to use the pickup for jobs like this. I do have the auger set up, so we will load it up with barley, get it to town, get it sold. I also want to buy the field next to us. This field number 6, $121,000, so it's not too much money, but I would like to have that. I don't think there's anything in it yet. Looks like, yeah, it's just been cultivated, so there's nothing growing. Get started right away in the springtime. Load up with barley, sell this, and then in the springtime we might plant carrots over there. One of the new crops from the premium expansion. We haven't tried any of those yet, so that'd be a good, pretty well straight line field to be able to plant that. We don't have all these curves and mess. As you can tell, I got all kinds of course plays still set up in this. Always forget to clear them out. I'm not sure if there's an easier way to clear them or not. If so, if you put that in the comments, it'd make it really helpful for me so it doesn't look like this mess every time I get on the map. But I'll finish filling this and head it into town. There we go with 98,000 liters. The grain mill is currently the best price for this. That's where we're going to take it. But I want to welcome in our new crew member, Farm Sim Universe. Thank you for coming and joining the crew. He is also a content creator. Be sure to click on the link at the top to find Farm Sim Universe's YouTube page. Again, thank you for joining the crew. And if you like the content that we create here on Auto Sim Crew, we would love to have you as a subscriber. And if you haven't liked this video yet, it would definitely help get it out to more people. Just click that like button at the bottom of the screen. Let me get in here to town and get this sold. Here we are at the grain mill. Probably should, while I'm in town, grab onto our little LP tank and get some more propane. I don't think it has much left. Hopefully it doesn't hit the walls. Nope, plenty of room. I always have trouble with that. It always likes to hit something, which I thought I was going to hit the roof, but it missed it too. So yes, $111,000. That'll give us more than enough money to buy that new piece of land next to our farm. let me drop this, run over and fill up our propane tank. So I was thinking about doing some popcorn, but it seems like we make so much money off of this corn dryer that the popcorn really wasn't worthwhile by buying another factory. Like, just hit this spot just right. It seems like every time I move, it moves on me. We'll get this unloaded and just drop this tank off. So we're just going to keep with what we got with the dry corn. Run over there and see how much more corn is left to dry. It's still a few months off before the best price. I know the dry corn is worth so much money, but I really don't want to sell it early. Yeah, now we got plenty of propane. Looks like we weren't completely out, so we just put 5,000 more liters in. But we still have 152,000 liters to dry. So it is taking a few months to dry this much. It is a beautiful setup. Let me get back to the farm and keep an eye on the slurry spreader. I really would like to experiment with wrapping one of these bales just to see if it would ferment into silage or not. Oop, there. Can't believe it takes it when I'm not even in the bale hoop yet. Because then I could just sell all the silage I have in our fermenter over there, take it to town, make a whole lot of money on it, and then be able to wrap some of our current bales into silage. Now the sheep are all fed. Pretty sure the cows still have a good amount of feed. Oh yeah, 53,000 liters. Slurry's going down pretty quick, as you can tell at the bottom of the screen there. We still have a lot in there. Ooh, a couple calves are out. These aren't supposed to be in here, and you know it. That's why you got up. Get back, get this tractor put away. Then we can come over here and load up our wool. Kind of thinking instead of selling this wool, we might actually take it. In fact, one of them's in the back seat, but okay. Might actually take it uptown and buy the fabric factory and be able to turn this into some cloth or some kind of fabric. Because really the wool's not worth a whole lot. If you turn it into a production, you can make a whole lot more out of it. I'm not sure what the loss ratio is on it. If it's 2 in, 1 out or not. We will go ahead and probably buy the factory as long as it doesn't cost too much. So like I said, we got to save money for that other field. We also have to buy the ketchup factory in this episode. Let me run to town and buy that next factory. So this is the tailor shop. I hope it takes the wool and not just fabric. Won't know until we buy it. So, clothes, material missing. I bet it isn't going to take it and turn it into the fabric we need. It's weird, there's a little snowman here, and the snow's not even sticking to the ground yet. We're going to find out. I have a bad feeling that this is only going to take the finished product. Yep, wool is not accepted here. Well, there's no way on this map to be able to create the fabric without adding a new mod to it. So I can build a fabric shop somewhere, I just don't know where yet. I'm starting to feel like I'm spending all of my money trying to make everything work right. There's room over here. You don't own the land, but let me put it there. So safe across the street here and see if we can get our wool taken over there to make fabric with. This put in here. Learned our lesson. Now I guess we'll be taking the finished goods from here over to the tailor shop and turn them into t-shirts. At least that production's going, and we got 80,000 left. We don't have enough to buy that piece of land, so now we've got to try to find another way to make some money. I thought of a way to make some more money. We have plenty of silage here, so we're going to run and load a vat to town. That'll get us enough money to be able to hopefully buy that field and the ketchup factory, which we haven't produced a single tomato yet, or at least a single pallet of tomatoes. So it's going to be a while before we even need the ketchup factory, but I would like to purchase it this episode. I'll finish loading this up. Let's see how much I do have. Looks like 150,000 left. So 56. It won't quite fill our trailer, but it's going to get really close. Looks like the livestock bale sale point is the best price for this. Price is going down, but it's actually a pretty good price. It's about the highest it's ever going to get. So we'll hurry and get this in, sell it, and then I want to just go ahead and buy the field next door so I don't run into any money problems and can't afford it. The guy working in the field, he still has a long ways to go. He's doing the little rows right now. It'll be a while for him. I doubt he even gets it done in the month of December, as slow as he's going. And I'll get this sold and we'll buy that field. There we go. Selling this off. 99,000. Quite 100, but pretty close. That's more than enough to buy that field. We'll go over and grab it real quick. Get this thing back to the farm. Alright, now we are the proud owners of another field. Still $57,000 left. Looks like with him spreading this slurry, he's pulling up quite a few rocks. We might actually have to get a rock picker and pick these up before we plant it in the spring. But we do need lime out here, so we might as well grab a tractor and start spreading some lime as we wait for him to finish up. I really don't think we're going to have enough slurry to even finish that project. We're going to end up having to spread some fertilizer out there as well. He just has that little bit, that corner left, but most of the field, let me pull up the right screen. Yeah, he's only done this little blue section here. He still has all this purple to go. And he's used over half of our slurry. So yeah, he's going to need some fertilizer. So I'm not buying any slurry, that's for sure, and our cows aren't producing enough to keep up with him. I guess that was all the... Oh, yep, tank even disappeared. When we finished using it all, it disappeared. Well, it looks like we'll be buying it from our multi-fruit station from now on. But I'll get out here and we'll put lime in that field. Then we'll see how far he can get before we have to start spreading fertilizer. Wow. I just caught this worker going totally off course. I have no idea what he's doing. He just drove clear through. I mean, he's not even supposed to be in this field. But the problem is, he just destroyed a whole section of our, I believe it's rye field. I can't remember what we planted in here. He drove right through it. Destroyed all of it. Yeah, rye. It says it's growing. Nope, not right. Well, there's no rye left here. Some fool didn't know what he was doing and drove clear through it. He didn't even drive in a straight line. I don't know what he was thinking. But he really, really messed up this field. It's like he finished this field, then just went for a straight line. Like curb line. Clear across. Oh well. I'll get him fixed and in the correct field. It looks like this is where he should have gone to start back up. Positive, but this is where I'm going to start him back up at least. Perfect. Nearest is what we want. We don't want to go to last because you know what happened there. Good. Well, she can take over here and I'll get back to spreading lime. I'm just glad I wasn't in town delivering grain when they decided to go clear through the field. Who knows how much work they would have destroyed if we weren't around. Welcome in, everyone, to a new episode here in Alma, Missouri. Here we are in the top of our spring planting season, and I was just about to start planting this field up here in sunflowers, and then I realized there was rocks in it. So I figured I better get a stone picker. So we did lease this stone picker because we're not going to use it too often. We were not able to get it all fertilized since we ran out of not total mixed ration, but we ran out of liquid slurry. So now we're going to go pick up these rocks, and then we'll have to fertilize what we don't get, which our planter does have liquid fertilizer in it. So we'll have that. course, we'll have to come out here. We will have to get some herbicide down. We have a lot of weeds already growing in it. Which part of the field is plowed? Now, what we didn't have the liquid slurry down on was plowed up. We did buy a new plow, so I'll show you that in a little while. But here, let me get around this field and get this all picked up and see how many stones we can get out of it. Now that we have him out picking up the rocks, we're going to start picking up our tomatoes to take to town and go purchase that. Ooh, it's auto-load. That's nice. We'll purchase our ketchup factory that I wanted to in the last episode that didn't get around to it. We don't have a lot of pallets. We ran out of water and forgot all about them over the winter. We got, what, maybe 6 pallets over there. About the same over here. Maybe 5 and 5. But I'll finish loading these up and we will head these to town and see how much ketchup we can make. I thought each pallet was 1,000 liters, but it turns out tomatoes are only 500 liters apiece. We got a total of the 10 pallets, but not as many liters as I was hoping. Like I said, I don't know how much the ketchup factory is going to take. It may not take very many tomatoes. I presume it would, being the main ingredient. We'll go to town. It looks like everybody's got a lot of weeds in their field this year. That's still a field I'd like to buy, but we've got a lot to do in this episode. I want to plant the carrots in our new field we purchased in the last episode. We want to get a quick baler. In the comments, someone commented that the quick baler will be able to bale and wrap the alfalfa, so we're going to try that this episode. Of course, we've got the sunflowers we're going to plant. We're going to plant corn in the 2 fields that we did soybeans last year. And of course, I got to get the fabric over to start making t-shirts. Got a lot to do, but we got all spring to do it. So I'll get these to town and get that new production started. I believe the ketchup factory is on this side of the building. Yes, there it is. Get in there and buy it before we drive in. I don't want to accidentally sell them. Park right here. Run up and see how much it costs. Most are 70,000. See if this is the same way. Oh, it's only 40,000. A lot cheaper. Nice. Looks like we take them probably where they come out at, so maybe right here. If I can get that close enough to it. Find the truck. There we go. Just drive in and drive over the curb to leave. It takes it right here. Yes. There they go. These offloaded, and then we'll go see what it takes to make it. Looks like it just takes tomatoes and water. I don't have any water here yet, so I might see if my propane tank will hold water also, and we'll bring a load of it over since it's close by. Let's go find out. Turns out you can put water in a propane tank. Did not know that was a thing. It works, so saved me from having to buy a new trailer. I need to probably use it to haul some more water to the greenhouses as well. We got a distributor, but it needs filled. Perfect. Water going in. We should be able to make our tomatoes, or not tomatoes, make our ketchup. Yeah, it doesn't take, it looks like it may hold 10,000 liters of water, so not too much. So yeah, we'll be able to start making ketchup now. I'm going to go grab another load of water, take it to the greenhouse. We'll go work in the next field. And forgot the update came out for Alma, and now we'll take the straw bales. This is our first try at that. I don't have a place right now to collect the manure. I do need to try to put one of those in somewhere close by that's not going to be in the way, probably on the other side of the building here. Let me find one and get one constructed. Well, that is where I end up putting in the manure pit. I hope it works there. Hope it'll start collecting from it. Some things out of our way. Might put some more bales of straw in. Try to fill them all the way up. So far there was none in it. I don't know how long it takes to start showing, but at least we do have some straw going in already. I'll put some more in, and of course the rock picker I went with it is leaving a gap on each side. So it's not going to pick up all the rocks, but it'll get close to most of them at least. Here, I'll add these to the cattle barn. Then we'll go get the planter ready. Before we plant, I think I'm going to actually grab the sprayer, get out there and spray all those weeds. So then we can see where we plant a little better. This project done first. There's our planter we're going to use. This tractor's 260 horsepower. The planter requires 280. We're pretty close to enough for this, but we might need the Challenger to really do the job. We got plenty of spraying to do with this field, and I believe both of the fields we're going to use for corn, those are also needing spray. Ooh, maybe. Oh, this is fertilizer. This isn't going to work. I need to get this swapped out and add some herbicide. Now I think we have what I need. Try this again. It's showing the right thing. Right, folded, and on. Now the weeds are dying. That's better. Well, I'll spray this field as he picks up the rest of the rocks. Actually, I think he's going to fill up with rocks faster than I thought he would. Dragging my front? No, the weight's not dragging. It's going really slow. So we're going to have to probably dump those rocks somewhere. I'm going to see if I can find a place to sell them. I don't really need them. We're not going to produce lime with it. So I'll spray this and we'll see you when it's done. Thankfully, not all the field needed sprayed. Part of it was plowed. So we were able to save that area. All this area over here was plowed instead of the liquid slurry as we ran out. That saves us some. Unfortunately, the plow brought up a lot more rocks. So it's a benefit in one way, but not every way. Here we go. This is done. Check and see if any other fields need it on our way back, and if they don't, then we will go start planting. Turns out our new carrot field that we're going to be planting needs spray. I'll be able to do that first. We're actually going to go with a setup that we can both cultivate and seed at the same time for the carrots. That is, it's a smaller planter. It's not as big as the one that can plant, I think, 8 rows. It's only a 4-row, but with the savings on time with being able to cultivate at the same time as seeding it, and it's not that big of a field anyhow, I think we're going to try it. And I believe it actually was cheaper to buy the all-in-one than buying just the bigger planter by itself. So I'll finish spraying this, then we'll get over to the other field. Well, that is unexpected. To upgrade this tractor to 280 horsepower like I needed, it's going to cost us $30,700 to do both the engine and put the wide tires back on it. Oh, so many expenses. But it'll make this work for the planter. I guess it'll be worth it. Let's go get it hooked up and get it started. I would think in real life, I couldn't imagine this tractor actually being able to pull this big of a seeder. But in the game, it will do it. I mean, I don't know, 280 horsepower. That's quite a little bit. Maybe it can do it. It's working. It's doing its job. I'll have this seed this up, and then it looks like we have rocks in almost every field because I plowed a lot more than I thought I did in the winter off camera. But we'll have him seed this, and then when he's done picking up the rocks in this field, I'll have him advance to the next one. Next time you see this field will be all seeded up. Here that we are in the month of April, we're going to go get a hired hand down on these couple fields we got to get him started on planting corn, while we pick up our new carrot seeder to be able to plant our new carrot field across the street. Still, these weeds were all killed, last month. We'll see if I'm sure they'll all grow back now that I'm seeding it. I'm sure I wasted my chemical on this. Let's see how far this one has left. Our rye is growing really well. And then our alfalfa is also growing really well. See, it's 100% fertilized. I couldn't remember if I fertilized it all or not. Looks like that's done spreading out. The thing with this planter just takes so long to open up. I wish it would go just a little bit faster. Let me get him started on course play, and then let him plant all this in corn. There's he goes. Make sure he's planting everything correctly. Yeah, see, it's got weeds growing again. Of course, it needs lime too. I should have spread lime on this field before we planted it. And we'll probably miss lime again this time. Yeah, seeded after we sprayed it, and the weeds are already growing. But we'll get in the Massey, and we'll get that carrot planter ready. I think to get an extra bonus on fertilizer, we're going to use this setup to where it does the hills in front of the seeding. So we'll go ahead and we'll buy that, and then get our little 4-row carrot planter. It's actually really cheap, only $12,500. And we could have gone with this bigger setup here. Let me go. I mean, this would plant twice as much, but we lose out on the fertilizer bonus with this hill. So with this, we'd have to go across it twice. So save some money and get it all in one. Let me get this weight off the front, because we're not going to need the weight. There we go. And see if I can hook this up correctly. I'm going to put the one that does the hills first. There we go. And then the seeder should be able to attach right to this. If it doesn't, then I've wasted some of the money. Oh, maybe I need to lower it. Let's see if I can lower. There we go. Just need to lower it, and we can raise it all. Let's go across the street and get this thing. I guess we better fill it up first. Put it on carrots so I don't put it on the wrong thing. Over here, fill it up with a little bit of carrot seed. As you can tell, those are extremely small planter boxes. All right, there. There we go. It holds 16 liters, $10 of seed. This will be one of the cheapest things as long as it doesn't fill up too fast. Let me drive over and we'll get set up in that field. Oh, this field don't look as good as I was hoping. Really should start plowing after I do the weeds. Maybe it'll look a little better. Alright, see if I can lower everything. Like I said, this is my first time doing this. I have not done any carrots yet. Alright. Thing is, am I planting anything? I don't know. It's not going down any. So I bet I don't have something turned on. There, okay. I didn't have the seeder on. Now, yeah, you can see the fertilizer state. A little darker. Alright. Well, let me seed all this. And then, when we're done with this, we will go back and keep an eye on our other fields. I know he's going to be done planting that in corn. Then right across the road from here, he's going to have to come and plant it in corn as well. So I'll probably actually set this up on course play. Not sure what it's going to look like. Hopefully it'll do both the seeding and the hills in the same pass. Looks really bad with these dead weeds in here though. That just looks horrible. You'd think when it goes over it to make the hill, it would actually grind up the old weeds, but it doesn't. So I'll set this up on course play, and then we'll see when this field's done. Turns out I'm not able to do course play with this. I don't know if it's because it's 2 attachments in one and it just won't do it. So I'm going to just increase my speed to max farming speed and do it all by myself. Of course, these hills aren't going to be accurate looking, but that's okay. I'm still going to go around the field like I normally would. So I will do this all manually, and then I will come back when it's finished. Well, I'm really not sure what I was thinking. I kind of wish I would have gone with the bigger seeder now, because he was able to do pretty well both of those fields in the time that I went through just this little one. And I think I forgot to turn on the seeder on that pass. You can tell it's a little lighter. Yep, I just heard it kick on. Got to turn it on. So now I got to go back down that one. Oh, now I forgot to lower it. Look at all these little mistakes. Goodness gracious. These carrots are way too much work. Go forward. There, now I've got to drop down. I'm going to have to go back up the one I was just on. Finish it. Thankfully it wasn't very far. See my marks where I came back in. Alright, raise this, turn around and go back. Then I did load up the pickup and fifth wheel trailer with the wool that we've produced and the rest of the tomatoes. We'll get them to the ketchup factory and get to the cloth maker so we can get both of those done. And then shut this thing off. There. We'll just probably leave this at this field. So I'm not going to take it anywhere else. Boom, see if it'll unhook. It does. Everything unhooks together. Alright, when we get back to the house, we'll grab the pickup and the fifth wheel and get those items to town. Then we need to take the cloth that we have made already, the fabric, and take it over to the t-shirt manufacturer that we purchased by mistake this last time around. Looks like he just finished that field, so we timed that just right. Let me get to town and get those things delivered and start making t-shirts. I'm really needing to think of a better way to produce more tomatoes. You know, we're only getting, what is that, 6 pallets of tomatoes in a 24-hour period, kind of a month's period in the game. That's not making much ketchup. But I mean, we do have a lot of sheep now, so we're producing a pretty good amount of wool. So that's a positive thing, but there's other little issues with our tomato factory, just not making enough tomatoes. I already got 2 of the large greenhouses in. Not sure what if I should add a bigger or another greenhouse somewhere else, buy some land and just put a bunch of greenhouses on them. Get all this land right here close to town would be kind of nice. Let me turn in here real quick. See if there's any place I could get rid of all those hay bales there. Be room to put some greenhouses. With the amount of money we'd spend on this farm ground, it'd take us a little bit of time to make enough money off it. We'll have to see. Keep an eye on some different properties around that is kind of flat, not too hilly, because we want it smooth so we can build greenhouses easier. But I'll finish getting these in and take the tomatoes first. I wonder if we've even made any ketchup. It looks like we have, though. There's 3 pallets of it already. Wow, that went a little faster than I thought. I can't remember how many pallets we took of tomatoes. That's a pretty good amount of ketchup. I'll have to look and see what that little bit's worth. I know wool's not accepted here, but the rest of those tomatoes, let's see how big. We've got a little lag there too. Let's see, they are, looks like 1,000 liters each, so 3,000 liters of tomatoes. Check the price as that's unloading. There we go. Looks like each ketchup pallet is worth about $4,700. Well, that's not too bad. I wonder when the best price is for that. Let me check. Looks like not until November. So it's quite a while off, quite a ways off, so I'm not sure if we'll wait that long or not. Depends on how many tomatoes we can produce. Let me head over to the factory to make the fabric. I know the money for t-shirts is really good. Just got to get some t-shirts made, which we got at least 4 pallets. I don't know if there's any still inside that hasn't come out yet or not. Let's see if I can get this in here right. I have to unload it by hand. Ooh, there it's. Maybe just gonna take one, if any. Just unload it by hand. No, it's still taking that one, maybe. There we go. Got a lot of lag here too. I'll finish unloading this so you don't have to watch it jump around, then we'll throw our fabric back on top. Well, it is definitely not loaded pretty, but it's on there. You know, with our computer lag that we're starting to get here in Alma, I know our goal for 2024 is to upgrade this computer. So hopefully sometime next year our graphics will be better. I know Frontier was really pushing our limits, and that was one of the reasons we kind of thought we brought it to an end, but the demand for for that series is so strong right now, we might try to bring back a short series on it, a few more episodes. But now here in even Alma is starting to slow us down quite a bit. Let's take it right here, and we're actually going to drive this guy's backyard up in front of us to leave. We'll get this unloaded, we'll get the factory turned on and start making t-shirts. Well, that should do it for this episode here in Alma, Missouri. If you enjoyed this episode, please be sure to slap that like button. And hopefully in the next episode, we'll be able to get some of the harvesting done for our rye that we have planted, along with getting that quick baler purchased and try baling our alfalfa and wrapping it to make silage. So until next time, have a blessed day, and bye-bye.
Know ye not that ye are the temple of God, and that the Spirit of God dwelleth in you? If any man defile the temple of God, him shall God destroy. For the temple of God is holy, which temple ye are.